Mohawks to start the game has Scott Connolly at center, along with Pat Leahy and Mike Weiss as wingers. It'll be Larry Shank and Scott McDonald, the defensive pairing, in front of the goaltender, Phil Roach. Mohawks defending the goal to our right in the first period in their home white uniforms, and they control the faceoff. Scott McDonald banks it off the boards into the Skidmore zone. Back for it there is Jeff Drake. He sends it all the way into the Mohawk zone, and back for it is Scott McDonald. Knocked off the play by Evan Duggan. Puck goes behind the net. Larry Shank battling for it there, but it's picked up by Rosser. Rosser put it back in deep. Shank tries to knock John Boudreau off the play. Boudreau still has it. Now falls down. Puck rolls to the side of the net. Scott McDonald gets it for the Mohawks. Up ahead to Pat Leahy. They couldn't get it out of the zone. It's kept in by Pat McAvoy. He sends it in deep behind the Mohawk net. Shank starts it up there. Gets it to Weiss. Now to Pat Leahy. Collects over the line left side. Now stops. Tries to feed it across and does to Connolly. He shot it wide of the net. Comes all the way out near the left point. McDonald's shot is blocked. It goes into the corner. Now in behind the net, it's Pete Manan. Manan lost it near the side of the net. Now clear to the corner. Mike Weiss battling for it there along with Boudreau. Boudreau puts it on the near side now. Skidmore having a little trouble getting it out of their own zone. Now James Sidora gets it up to center, clears it into the Mohawk zone. Back for it there for the Mohawks, Jay Vandera. Vandera put it over on the far side, but it was knocked away. And now back in behind the net. Scott McDonald trying to tie it up. Now a puck comes free for a shot by Sidoric. It was blocked in front. Now comes out near the left point. It's kept in deep for Richard Shue. Shue near the side of the net. It's stopped by Roach, and he hangs on for the faceoff. Minute and a half gone, first period, a scoreless hockey game, and no scoring opportunities yet for either team.
No, but it's been a back and forth game already right off the bat. Both teams are going at each other. When they get in the zone, they're being able to keep it down low, and that could be a good thing for the Mohawks as long as they get it out of their end here.
Face off to goaltender Phil Roach's right on the draw. It's going to be T.J. Windsor. He's centering a line with Derek DeRocher and Tom Schlegel as wingers. Puck controlled by Skidmore. In behind the net now. It's taken by Jay Vandera of the Mohawks. Vandera knocked off the play. Puck comes free for Pete Manan. Manan lost it. It goes to the far corner. With it is Tom Schlegel. Schlegel carrying out to center. Feeds it to Windsor over the line. Broken up and skated off by Ryan Mahady. Mahady banks it off the boards on the near side into the Mohawk zone. On it first is Mahady. Mahady now puts it on the near side. Connolly going for it there. Make that Derek DeRocher over on the far side. It's kept in at the left point by Manan. Manan knocks it in deep. Now comes on the near side. On it there for the Mohawks is Derek DeRocher. DeRocher lost it. It's regained now by Moriarty. Moriarty put it on the far side for Vandera. Now pass connects at center ice for T.J. Windsor. Windsor avoids a check and gets a backhanded flip into the Skidmore zone. Tom Garman in there to forecheck, tries to get it. It's in behind the net. He battles there with Manan. Garman still battling. Now far side. Dug free in the faceoff circle and finally skated off by Chris Dunn for Skidmore. Long shot in and a save by Roach. He doesn't know where it is, and it rolls wide of the net. Now in behind the net, puck squirts free, and it's taken by Roach, and he hangs on for the faceoff. He made that save there, George, and the puck squirted up in the air, and behind him, he lost sight of it, but fortunately for the Mohawks, it didn't roll into the net. It rolled just wide.
No, it's an interesting play. He saw the puck just popped up. I thought it was going to go in there for a second. That would be an awful goal to go down on here.
It would be, especially early in the hockey game. Face off to the right. It's loose in the circle. Finally gathered in for a backhanded flip and a save by Kiernan, or by Roach. It was Brian Sennett getting that shot off, and he was down on his knees. Puck was loose in the face-off circle for a while, and now we've got a couple of quick whistles. Line on for the Mohawks. Features Matt Anderson at center, along with Chris Pettengill and Tom Garman. Controlled by Skidmore for a shot by Brian Neary from the point. It was blocked. Now it's out loose and knocked in deep into the corner. On it first for the Mohawks there. Number 13 is Matt Anderson. Anderson connects with Pettengill. Now Garman at center ice. Goes over the line left side. Feeds it back to Anderson. Anderson goes to the corner for it. Now in behind the net. He's bottled up there by Fred Orsia. A shot from the point by Brian Keel. Wide on the short side. Rebound comes near boards for Kevin Bryant. Bryant lost it, but over on the far side, Brian Neary collects. Neary gets it over to Bryant as Skidmore starts it out in front of their own bench. Puck comes into the Mohawk zone now. With it is Matt Gray. Drake puts it over on the far side for Weiss. Just on over the line, but offside at the Skidmore blue line. A whistle and a face-off which will come outside the Skidmore blue line. 16:20 left in the first period of play. The Mohawks and the Thoroughbreds scoreless.
There's a lot of this game basically right now is skating and hitting. Couple small chances for both teams to score, but it's basically just getting a feel of everybody.
Tight check and not a lot of chance for crisp passes as the players are keeping themselves bottled up. Puck is in the Skidmore zone now. With it is Jeff Drake. Drake puts it over on the near side for Colin Whalen. He got it up ahead to Brian Sennett. He was knocked off the play. Puck comes back to center. Drake gets it and clears it into the Mohawk zone. Over on the far boards, Richard Chu. Knocked off the play, comes behind the Mohawk net. Scott McDonald starts it up on the near side, but it's broken up at the blue line for a shot by Colin Whalen wide to the net far side. The rebound comes all the way out to center. It's a race here, but the defenseman Jeff Drake for Skidmore gets to it first and clears it out to center. Weiss knocks it back in, and now Skidmore starts it out. It's Drake. At center ice, broken up, and the Mohawks clear it back into the Skidmore zone. With it is Micah Deary. Deary fed it up at center, tried to connect with Colin Whalen, but it was broken up and knocked back into the Thoroughbred zone. Back for it there is Jeff Drake. He starts it out on the far side. Over-skated it and lost it. Regained, though, by Brian Sennett. Sennett clears it all the way down into the Mohawk zone. This is going to be icing against Skidmore, bringing the face-off back down to the left of Thoroughbred goaltender John Olson.
Well, Skidmore is having a little trouble there, Rich, getting it out of their zone. The furthest they could make it was to the red line, and the Mohawks would keep intercepting passes and dumping it back in. So in a way, that's a good icing.
In that instance, it is, and the Mohawks now will have an opportunity for a face-off in the Skidmore zone. And the line on for the Mohawks has Jordan Osga at center with Kevin Floria and Phil Blanchette as wingers. Mohawks control the face-off. Larry Shank from the right point shot it wide to the net short side. Rebound, Osga got a stick on it, but it was broken up and now skated away by Evan Duggan for Skidmore. Got it up to center ice, but was knocked off the play by the Mohawks. Puck still loose now. Finally, Kevin Poirier clears it into the Skidmore zone. Back for it there is Chris Dunn. Dunn puts it over on the far side, and Phil Blanchette, forechecking for the Mohawks, broke the play up for the moment. Now Pete Manan gets it behind the net. He put it on the near side, now on the far side, back for Manan. Manan skating with it out of the zone. Up to center ice. Knocked off the play by Poirier, but he got a backhanded flip into the Mohawk zone. Moriarty gets it right back out. Now Chris Dunn for Skidmore clears it into the Mohawk zone. Larry Shank back for it there. He and Moriarty exchange passes. Over on the far side now, it's Windsor. Feeds it up to Schlegel or Derek DeRocher, and he clears it into the Skidmore zone. The Mohawks on a line change here. Skidmore starting it out on the right side. A pass too far ahead of Evan Duggan. It's broken up, but now number 5, Chris Dunn, clearing pass, goes up into the ceiling area here at the rink. So whistle for a face-off in the neutral zone with 14:08 left. First period of play, it's scoreless.
Well, both teams are really finding it hard now to get it into the zone. It's playing a lot of neutral zone hockey right now. But both teams are skating really hard, so something good could happen here.
Mohawks now have T.J. Windsor, Derek DeRocher, and Tom Schlegel, the forward line. Brian Keogh, the defenseman, clears it into the Skidmore zone. Goaltender Olsen out to leave it behind the net for Pete Manan. Manan now starts it up on the right side, almost broken up, but got it ahead to Sidoric. Sidoric, a clear out to center, connects over the line for a shot and a save by the goaltender Roach. That was Ryan Mahady getting that shot. Now at center ice, it's T.J. Windsor. Knocked off the plate. DeRocher battles, kicks it free. Tried to get it to Schlegel, but it was broken up by Sidoric. Sidoric over the line and a shot. Whistle down for an offside at the Mohawk blue line as Ryan Mahady was going to get an opportunity over the line and got the shot off, but the whistle had blown, so the offside and the ensuing face-off outside the Mohawk blue line.
Well, the defense for the Mohawks has been doing a really good job of stepping up on the play and not allowing Skidmore to break the blue line, but that time it almost cost him as Keogh almost got skated right around for a nice clean opportunity. Luckily his stick poked the puck away.
Anderson, Pettengill, and Garman the line on for Sally Alley's Mohawks. They win the face-off. It's cleared all the way down into the Skidmore zone. Goaltender John Olsen leaves it there for Brian Neary. Neary gets it up on the near side to Sidoric. Sidoric, return pass behind the net. Now on the left, it's Connor McDavitt. McDavitt broken up at the blue line, but now it's taken by Orsea. Put it into the Mohawk zone and was broken up. Puck cleared all the way back down into the Thoroughbred zone. Back for it is Connor McDavitt. McDavitt clear to center. Larry Shank knocked it right back over the line. Taken by Connor McDavitt. McDavitt carries it center ice. Clear into the Mohawk zone. Goaltender Roach sticks it into the corner for Scott McDonald. McDonald over to Larry Shank. Shank connects at center ice for Pat Leahy. Over the line, right side, but Tom Garman had failed to clear the zone and was unable to drag that skate along the blue line and keep it in. So the face-off for the offside, and the face-off will be outside the Skidmore blue line. 12:46 left, first period.
Rich, I think this is the Mohawk team that we saw in that second game. They just come out fired up.
Skating hard in the early going here. We've got a Skidmore coach was asking the official to hold things up, and now we've got an injury. Apparently number 22, Fred Orsea, injured on the Skidmore bench. And one of the Mohawk student trainers will be making his way across the ice. He'll apparently not go across the ice. He'll take the long way around, and we'll be able to get going. The visitors bench and the home bench on different sides of the ice, as opposed to previous years when they were on the same side. Play on, Scott Connolly for the Mohawks. Got it to Mike Weiss. Now Pat Leahy over the line, right side. A flip wide of the net, short side. Rebound comes all the way out on the left. Mike Weiss battling to try to kick it free, but it was taken by number 24, Micah Deary. Deary put it on the left for Hooker over the line. Hooker trying to cut towards the net, was ridden off the play, but the puck stopped by Roach. It's near the side of the net, in behind the net now. Battling for it is John Boudreau. Boudreau, along with Scott Connolly, or make that Jay Vandera. Vandera and Deary still battling. Now puck comes loose in front and cleared away to the corner. On it there is Craig Roser. Roser put it back in behind the net. Mohawks get it. It's Pat Leahy on the near side, trying to get around Deary. He couldn't. It was knocked back in deep now along the far boards out near the left point. It's kept in by McAvoy. Puck loose in the middle now. Skated up by Deary. Deary goes for a shot up high, and it was, I believe, a shoulder save by Roach. Now a possible breakaway. Pat Leahy held down. We've got a penalty coming up, a hooking call against Skidmore here, as Pat Leahy would have been in alone on the right side. First penalty of the game, and Pat Leahy's hustle there drew that penalty. It'll be number 24, Micah Deary, getting the gate.
Well, that's definitely a skating penalty right there. When one team starts taking going over on the other opposition like that, just skating almost in circles around them. A small little hook like that, where a player may have tripped himself up, which I think might have been the case there. You get the officials' call.
That was a good penalty in terms of Skidmore. Let's get the announcement. We'll be able to pick up the announcements a little bit today. Starting next week, we'll have a wireless mic, which will make things nice. Mohawks on the power play here. TJ Windsor got it to the left point for Moriarty. A return pass to Windsor. Now in behind the net, Tom Schlegel circles the net now at the right point. Keogh, a shot saved. Rebound, White shot it up over the net. Rebound comes on the near side. TJ Windsor. Now to Scott Connolly. Connolly behind the net. He got that shot. Now Windsor put it out near the side of the net. Olsen sticks it away. Windsor on the near side. Got it to the point. Moriarty, he fanned on it, but was able to keep it in for the moment. Connolly now to number 21, Schlegel. Schlegel couldn't control it, and the puck cleared into the Mohawk zone. Back for it, Larry Shank. 1:10 left on the Mohawk power play. Good opportunity a moment ago. Scott Connolly getting the shot. Mohawks, though, now carry it center ice. Shank. Pass was broken up by Pete Manan. Now it's out loose near the blue line. Shank gets it. Puts it in deep. Schlegel will race for it with Dunn. Dunn got there first for Skidmore. Now lost it near the side of the net. Schlegel trying to dig it free, but Olsen, the goaltender, able to pounce on it and hang on for the face-off. 10.5 minutes left, first period. 50 seconds left on the penalties. It's scoreless, George, with the Mohawks with some opportunities here on the power play.
Oh, that was a great opportunity right at the beginning of the power play with Larry Shank on the slap shot. The rebound put back just over the net. I mean, just missed the crossbar by like an inch. And Mohawks are just creating opportunities right now on this power play.
Only a matter of time before they score, or we would hope so anyway. Face-off controlled by the Mohawks. It was loose in the circle. Now comes on the near side and cleared down by Skidmore all the way down the length of the ice. Goaltender Roach gloves it and keeps it away from Connor McDavitt, who was right on his doorstep. So we'll have a face-off this time back in the Mohawk zone. 10 seconds tick off on the penalty there. But still 40 seconds left on the power play. Plenty of opportunity to get something going here. And for the Mohawks, it's going to be Mike Weiss taking the face-off. It's Weiss along with Derek DeRocher and Tom Windsor, the forward combination. Lucy in the circle, finally taken by the Mohawks. Brian Keogh puts it back in behind the net, and the Mohawks will start it up. Derek DeRocher tried to get it ahead to TJ Windsor, didn't connect. Pat Leahy gets it over the line right side. Leahy carries it deep in behind the net. Now taken by TJ Windsor, drops it back to the left point for DeRocher. DeRocher now in for Windsor on the near side. Now DeRocher up from the left point. Shot it wide of the net far side. Rebound kept in by Keogh. Now in behind the net, near side. Windsor tried to center it across in front. Nobody there. Now on the far side, Leahy puts it in behind the net. Windsor has it. TJ Windsor tried to get a return cast to Leahy, but it was broken up by Neary of Skidmore. The official gets in the middle of the action and falls down. Now Windsor gets it, puts it back to the left point for Derek DeRocher. Now back to Windsor, left side in deep. He's knocked into the boards. Two Skidmore players on him there. Puck now comes loose. Windsor able to dig it free and takes a wicket hit. Number 22, Arcea, decked him into the boards. Now in to help out is Mike Weiss. Weiss tried to kick it free, does to Windsor. Windsor gets a wrist shot, score! TJ Windsor got that shot off. It might have been deflected in front, but in any event, the Mohawks have taken the lead. It's 1-0.
Well, coming off that out of the penalty box there to even strength, the goalie ended up having a group of Skidmore players and Mohawks in front of the net, and I don't think he saw that puck at all.
There was a mess of players in front. Windsor got the shot off. Hard to say whether it might have been deflected in front, but in any event, it will not go down as a power play goal as the player had returned to the ice. But in essence, it still was a Mohawk power play as they were continuing to press in deep in the Skidmore zone. But in any event, 1-0 Mohawks.
Well, that's what they've been working on all week in practice, is hitting the net. As you saw in the first chance of the power play, went over the net. You hit the net, you have a chance to score.
We'll pick up the announcement on the goal when Steve Galley makes it.
And now a goal scored by number 27, TJ Windsor.
Derek DeRocher picking up the only assist on the Mohawk goal. It'll come at 10 minutes, 46 seconds. Play on in the Mohawk zone in the corner. Scott McDonald battling for it there with a couple of Skidmore players. Mohawks able to dig it free, and with it is Chris Pettengill. Pettengill, a freshman, over on the far side. A little backhanded flip into the Skidmore zone. But a whistle for the offside at the Skidmore blue line. Mohawks with the 1-0 lead. 8:44 left in the first period. The goal, TJ Windsor. And for TJ, that's his second of the season. Coming at the 10:46 mark, Derek DeRocher picking up the assist. And Mohawks power play, even though it will not go down as a power play goal, the power play unit looked good, George.
Well, the power play unit looked great, and that's just a matter of the flow still going on when the man comes out of the box, and they keep good possession of the puck, and results in a goal.
Off the face-off, Jordan Osga gets it for the Mohawks over the line. Puts it in deep, in behind the net. Kevin Poirier battling for it there, but Chris Dunn gets it for Skidmore. Can't clear it out. Kept in by Jay Vander at the point. Now it's in front for Poirier. It's in his skates, loose, and finally knocked wide of the net. Far side, Richard Chu on it for Skidmore. Broken up for the moment. Now it comes in behind the net. Chris Dunn has it for the Thoroughbreds. He's broken up by number 14 for the Mohawks, Blanchette. Got it over to Osga for a shot and a save. Rebound comes on the near side and skated away by Skidmore. With it is Colin Whalen. Whalen goes over the line, but Brian Sennett on the right side that preceded him across the line. So an offside here with 8:06 left.
Rich, I think we're wrong. I think this is a completely different team from that second game. They've just, that second game they came out, they were fired up. But this team is playing out here like they know they're going to win this game. Like, you can see confidence on all these players here, and it shows in how they're playing tonight so far.
And confidence has not been something that has been in abundance in recent years for the Mohawks. It's nice to see. Mohawks control it off the face-off. It goes off a Garmin skate into the Skidmore zone. Garmin takes a wicked hit by Arcea. Puck comes loose on the left side. It's number 13, Matt Anderson, trying to knock it in deep. Now puck comes free. Anderson on a pass from Pettengill. Has to go to the corner for it. Battles for it there, and a big hit by number 24, Tom Garmin. He just returned the favor from Arcea for an earlier hit. It's still in the corner. Garmin has it. Puts it back to the right point for Matt Gray. Gray now got it in for Pettengill, and he was knocked off the play, and we've got an injured Mohawk and a penalty coming up. It's going to be a cross-checking call against Skidmore. Mohawks will go on the power. It was Matt Anderson getting stick to the ice there by number 22, Fred Orsea, who will be going off.
Well, Anderson has proven so far in his freshman year to be a pretty strong physical player, and his speed doesn't hurt that much either. And right now, Skidmore just seems like they can't keep up with the Mohawks so far tonight.
12:28 will be the time of the penalty. Mohawks on another power play here. Both minor penalties in the hockey game have been called against Skidmore. Mohawks get it off the face-off. Larry Shank brings it to the left point now, clears it in deep. In behind the net over on the far side, taken by Skidmore. They're able to clear it down the length of the ice. Goaltender Phil Roach leaves it behind the net for Larry Shank. Mohawks power play here. It's their second of the game. They scored just after the first power play had expired. At center ice now for the Mohawks, it is Mike Moriarty. Moriarty goes over the line right side. Now puts it in deep behind the net. On it first there is Micah Deary for Skidmore, but he's broken up, and the puck is back to the right point for Larry Shank. Shot it wide of the net, far side. All the way back to the left point for Moriarty. Knocks it back in deep behind the net. Schlegel on it first there. Now to TJ Windsor. Windsor puts it back out near the right point for Shank. In for Tom Schlegel. He's bottled up. Puck comes back free for Shank near the right point. Larry Shank lets one go. Kicked out by the goaltender Olsen. Rebound comes on the near side for Moriarty. Moriarty put it in behind the net. With it is TJ Windsor, left corner. Windsor got it back to Moriarty at the left point. Moriarty return pass to Windsor. Left face-off circle. Tried to get it over on the right for Scott Connolly, but he was knocked off the play. Puck along the far side. Now near the side of the net, it's TJ Windsor. Windsor goes right side. Return pass from Connolly. Now Windsor and Schlegel exchange passes behind the net. In front, Moriarty, a shot and a save by Olsen. Mike Moriarty all the way up from the left point. Mid face-off circle was able to get that shot on a pass from Windsor, and the goaltender Olsen able to handle it.
Rich, all I can say is wow. I mean, this power play unit looks like a group that has played together since they were little kids on the pond or something. They're moving the puck so perfectly. Crisp passes, they're collecting everything perfectly, and they're getting scoring opportunities.
39 seconds left on the power play. It's going to be Mike Weiss on the face-off. Loose in the circle. Windsor tried to collect it. Now goes behind the net over on the far side. It's Brian Keogh. Keogh to Pat Leahy. Return pass to Keogh. A shot and a save by Olsen. Down low, but he gloved it and held on for the face-off with exactly 6 minutes left in this first period of play. Mohawks still in the power play, and they're beginning to pile up the shots here, George. They are clearly outplaying the Thoroughbreds here in this first period.
Well, during the scrimmage before the season, the Mohawks outshot them, and it didn't work out, but right now they're just sticking it to them.
Derek DeRocher at the left point lets one go just wide on the far side. Rebound all the way to the right point. Keogh now to DeRocher. His shot partially deflected, comes in the near corner for Pat Leahy. Leahy now DeRocher up from the point to keep it in deep. TJ Windsor takes it behind the net. Windsor now feeds it to DeRocher. Shot it wide, short side. He was fed nicely by Windsor from behind the net. Windsor has it here now, far corner. Now to Pat Leahy. Leahy, both teams at even strength. Now DeRocher from the left point. Shot it wide, short side. Rebound to the corner. TJ Windsor battles for it there with Orsea. Orsea from Skidmore controlling it, kicks it free. Now comes out near the front of the net by Kevin Bryant, able to skate it off. Lost it for the moment, but regained by Chris Dunn. Dunn carries for Skidmore. Out near the blue line, he is met there. Chris Pettengill would try to put it back over the line, but the Mohawk hadn't yet cleared the zone. Now that it's knocked in deep into the corner, on it is Kevin Bryant. Bryant carries for Skidmore. Out to center ice. Bryant with a head of steam over the line left side. Tries to get by Gray, but Gray rides into the corner. Puck still in the corner. Skidmore yelling for a penalty. With the puck is Joe Boudreau. Boudreau feeds it in front. Bouncing puck loose under Roach, and he's able to hang on for the faceoff. Right on his doorstep was Fred Orsea. Had a couple of whacks at it after Roach made the initial stop. But Phil Roach in net for the Mohawks, able to hang on to that one. The pressure in front.
Well, he hasn't seen much of a puck tonight shot at him, but it makes those ones a little bit tougher when you're not used to seeing the puck coming at you, and you have the puck bouncing around in front with people poking at you.
Faceoff is going to be to his left. It's going to be Matt Anderson on the draw against Pat McAvoy. Puck down. Loose in the face-off circle, skated off by Larry Shank of the Mohawks. He put it on the far side off the stick of Tom Garman into the Skidmore zone. Garman collects here, has a man in front, a shot and a save by Olsen. It's loose, and Olsen pounces on it. Good opportunity for the Mohawks there. As number 11, Chris Pettengill, right on the doorstep, ready to pounce on the rebound from Tom Garman's shot, but the goaltender was able to grab it and hang on.
Well, you're starting to see a little frustration building up on Skidmore's side. After every whistle now, the player starts jarring with a Mohawk, and that could not be a good thing, a good sign for Skidmore, going into the break here.
Thus far in the game, the Mohawks able to stay out of the penalty box, and that was a problem they had over the first, particularly the first game against New England College. Puck down and controlled in the Skidmore zone. It's number 7 on the near side, James Sidoric. Sidoric got it up ahead. It's cleared into the Mohawk zone. Collecting it is Ryan Mahady. Mahady, a turnaround shot from the corner and a save by Roach. He hangs on, and a whistle with 4:14 left in the first period of play. It's 1-0 in favor of your Mass College Mohawks.
This has been a great period of hockey so far this year for MCLA. Easily their best period of hockey.
Which, as we mentioned in the pregame, bodes well if the Mohawks can play well here tonight. It's going to do their confidence a world of good, and playing less than 24 hours from now, again, winning on a Friday night helps you out on Saturday afternoon. Face-off is to the right of Roach. It's loose in the circle, controlled by Skidmore. A shot from the point by Brian Sennett was blocked. It goes to the corner. Now the Mohawks started up. Pat Leahy at center ice. Clears it into the Skidmore zone. Back forward is Micah Deary. Deary avoids a check from Leahy. Puck is controlled by the Mohawks now. Jay Vander at the left point. Tried to get it to Weiss off of his stick and in behind the net. Now Micah Deary gets it for Skidmore over on the far side. Connects with Connor McDavitt. McDavitt is just decked at the blue line by Jay Vander. He just sent him sprawling. Puck comes deep into the Mohawk zone. Mike Moriarty behind the net over on the far side to Mike Weiss. Weiss, as it's not kept in at the line by number 24, Micah Deary. He brought it back across, and a whistle for an offside against Skidmore. What a hit by Jay Vander on Connor McDavitt. He just sent him sprawling. That's the hit of the season so far.
Oh, easily. This Mohawk team has just come out here, and they are telling Skidmore, you're not taking a game in our house. And it just shows right now in this first period.
They're playing awfully inspired hockey. Mohawks control it. Derek DeRocher over the line. He's knocked off the play by Chris Dunn. Puck comes back to the left point. Scott McDonald puts it in deep. In behind his own net, Chris Dunn for Skidmore. Put it on the far side to Manan. Manan connects at center ice for Hooker over the line. Hooker is knocked down by Brian Keogh. No call. Puck comes along the near boards into the corner. TJ Windsor trying to battle for it there, but Hooker comes out in front, and Roach able to stop it and hang on for the faceoff. Some pushing and shoving after the whistle, but Mohawks goaltender Phil Roach pouncing on everything that comes in his direction, and that's probably a good thing in the defensive zone to get as many whistles as you can and not allow Skidmore any good opportunities and or rebounds. Face-off is going to be to Roach's left. It's TJ Windsor on the draw. Mohawks control it, but it's overskated for the moment by McDonald. McDonald now gets it, puts it on the near side. TJ Windsor battles for it there with Brian Sennett. Puck comes over on the far side, and Tom Schlegel gets it. Schlegel clears it to center. It's taken by Chris Dunn for Skidmore. Clears it back into the Mohawk zone. Skidmore on a line change. Mohawks started up. Scott McDonald. A pass connects at center ice for Derek DeRocher. DeRocher tried to get a pass to Schlegel, but it was broken up. On the near side, Dunn for Skidmore clears it into the Mohawk zone. Goaltender Roach stops it and leaves it there for Brian Keogh. Keogh puts it up on the near side. No Mohawk is there. It's kept in at the right point for a shot blocked in front. Now Mohawks Schlegel is able to get it and clear it to center. Knocked back in, and now the Mohawks get it. Scott McDonald carries over the line, avoids a check, but lost the puck. Now Skidmore breaks it out. They couldn't control the puck, or they could have had a 3-on-1. Now in the Mohawk zone, Larry Shank puts it on the near side for McDonald. McDonald connects at center ice. A shot by Matt Anderson and a save by the goaltender Olsen. Rebound comes on the near side for Bryant. Kept in at the point by Pettengill. Some pushing and shoving between Tom Garman and Fred Orsea. They're becoming old friends quickly. And we have a whistle. I don't know exactly what the whistle was for, but they're going to call the face-off outside the zone. The players tangled in front of the crease, possibly in the crease, and that might have been what initiated the whistle.
Looks like they were calling Garmin in the crease there, affecting the goalie, so whistle's blown, and the puck's outside the blue line now.
Just under 2 minutes to go, first period, 1-0 Mohawks. Matt Anderson on the face-off against Patrick Hutchins, controlled by the Mohawks, cleared into the Skidmore. Now with it is Kevin Bryant. Bryant puts it behind the net over to Neary. Brian Neary for Skidmore, starts it out. He's to center ice, falls down, but got it ahead to Hutchins, who clears it into the Mohawk zone. Backward there's McDonald. He's broken up. Hutchins has it. Hutchins puts it alone in front. Number 12, Kevin Bryant, shot it wide of the net, had it wide open in front. Now a whistle, even though the puck was loose. And we're going to have a face-off to the right of the goaltender, Roach. Number 12, Kevin Bryant, was set up alone in front. He had all day to try to beat Roach, and he shot it wide of the net. What an opportunity there for Skidmore.
It's probably Skidmore's best opportunity of the night so far. On a clean shot, Roach is down. You're going to have to try and beat him up high, obviously, and get him up high, but wide of the net.
Kevin Bryant is going to be kicking himself for missing that opportunity. Just alone in front, nobody near him, all the time in the world to shoot, and he couldn't get it off. Now Mohawks get it over the line. Possible breakaway for Leahy. He has to go to the corner to collect, though. He put it over on the far side. It's taken by Joe Boudreau for Skidmore. Broken up for the moment. Puck loose out near the blue line. Couple players trying to get it. Now comes to neutral zone at center ice. Cleared into the Mohawk zone and knocked back out. Now put back in by Micah Deary. Behind his own net, starting it out at Scott Connolly. 1 minute left in the period. Puck knocked in deep in the Mohawk zone. Goaltender Phil Roach having some trouble with it, but he finally pounces on it and then takes a run at John Boudreau, who took a run at him as he tried to control that loose puck in front of the net. Phil Roach taking exception to Boudreau's antics. And I think both players are going to escape penalties here, even though they exchange pleasantries. One of the referees talking with the Mohawk goalie right now, probably giving him a warning that it's not going to be tolerated in the future. He got away with one.
Yeah, I know as being a goalie, when I used to play, you don't want players just jabbing at you. There's not as much protection as it looks like. And when you get a slash across the wrist or something there, it really stinks.
Face-off is going to be outside the Mohawk zone. In the neutral zone, number 10, Ryan Mahady taking the draw against the Mohawks' TJ Windsor. It's loose out near the blue line, cleared in, and Mike Moriarty is able to get it and clear it down into the Skidmore zone. Backward there is Jeff Drake. Drake tried to get it out, but forechecking is Pettengill. Comes back out to center. Moriarty knocks it back in. And on it there is Jeff Drake. Drake now to Micah Deary. Deary tried to get a long pass, but it was broken up by Moriarty, who clears it into the Skidmore zone. Goaltender leaves it there for Jeff Drake. Drake starting it out. He's got a head of steam at center ice. Drake goes over the line, left side. Still carries, gets by Shank. Drake goes in, centers it across in front, but a good defensive play by Moriarty to sprawl and block that pass. Kept in at the right point for a shot. Beautiful save by Roach. And now some pushing and shoving in front. Phil Roach made a beautiful save on a shot from the point, and we're going to have a penalty coming up. Players breaking up the fray in front of the goaltender, but we're going to have a penalty coming up here. I don't know if it's against the Mohawks or the Thoroughbreds. Apparently it's going to go against the Mohawks, as skating over is TJ Windsor. So with 11.4 seconds left in this first period, Mohawks will find themselves shorthanded. TJ Windsor picking up the penalty.
Well, that was a little trouble in front of the net there again for Roach. And great stop on that shot. I mean, with the screen in front, it's tough to see, and he got his glove on that and held it down. But again, he's getting shoved around, and the Mohawks got to stop Skidmore from crashing the net like that.
They've had a couple opportunities in the last few minutes where they've had players that are allowed to set up and park themselves right in front of Roach. Faceoff is going to be to his right as we resume play here. The Mohawks are going to be shorthanded But as we said, just 11 seconds left in this first period, so the penalty will overlap into the second. James Sidorek taking the faceoff for Skidmore. Let's get the announcer coming right out in front for a shot and a save by Roach. Now some pushing and shoving. Number 4, Brian Neary, and the Mohawks captain Larry Shank exchanging pleasantries. Shank is 6'4", going to have a little trouble trying to keep him from knocking you off the play.
6'4", 195. He's pretty solid. Not much fat on the kid if you look at him without his shirt on. And he's a hard worker and he's a strong kid.
5.9 seconds left now in the period. Face-off in the Mohawk zone. Puck loose in the circle, controlled by the Mohawks. Number 15, Scott McDonald, getting bottled up, and we're going to have some pushing and shoving going on as time expires. Number 4, Brian Neary for Skidmore in the middle of it again, but Scott McDonald took a run at him instead of playing the puck, and that's what angered Neary. Now Phil Roach is going to be skating off. It looked like he was going to go after number 4, Neary. Peace restored here, but tempers flaring as the first period expires.
Oh, what a great first period here for the Mohawks, too. You can tell right there at the end, the last couple shifts for Skidmore, they are frustrated with how they've been playing. And instead of trying to use it to their advantage by playing the puck the right way and hitting on their opportunities, they're just taking it to the body and trying to be more physical. And that's not going to help them get on the scoreboard right now.
No, late in the period, though, they had some good scoring opportunities, and Phil Roach came up big for the Mohawks.
Oh, he came up really big, Rich. Screen in front of the net, making a couple of really exceptional saves. And right now, everything, all 4 cylinders are clicking for the Mohawks right now.
They played inspired hockey in the first period. We'll see what happens. There's still 40 minutes of hockey to go. It's first intermission time right now with the Massachusetts College Mohawks leading after one period, 1-0 over.
It'd be an indicator of how the rest of this game is going to be.
And in fact, we see another couple of players going into the penalty box. Scott McDonald is one, so apparently we had penalties called right at the end of the period. So McDonald for the Mohawks, and probably number 22, Fred Orsea, for Skidmore. Mohawks, Skidmore controls here. It's Chris Dunn at center ice. Dunn knocked off the play in front of the Skidmore bench. Puck squirts into the Thoroughbred bench, and we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. Opening minute of play in the second period.
Head coach Paul Dyer for Skidmore isn't too happy with how their power play breakout's working right now.
It's going to be Patrick Hutchins on the face-off against Jordan Ozga. It is controlled by Skidmore. Over on the far side, it is Fred Orsea. Orsea knocked off the play. Mohawks are able to get it and clear it down the length of the ice. Teams skating 5-on-4 in front of the goaltender. The matching penalties called at the 20-minute mark of the period. Ozga forechecking, but Skidmore gets it. They're able to clear it down into the Mohawk zone. Brian Keogh able to clear it out, knocked right back in. And in behind the Mohawk net is Larry Shank. Shank tries to bank it off the glass and struck the official. That has to hurt, as Larry Shank was just trying to bank it down the length of the ice. Tried to get it off the glass and basically took a full slap shot, and it went right into the official. He is hurt.
I hope he's not trying to buy calls with that.
No, he's not winning friends and influencing people, that's for sure. Official skating around and speaking with the 2 other officials right now. Piers is always going to be okay, but boy, that had to hurt.
Larry Shank easily has the hardest slap shot on the Mohawk team, and when he's trying to clear it out around the boards like that, I guess officials beware, because that can be a sting, and that's a sting for goalies. I hear them all the time in practice complaining about his slap shot, and they have full gear on.
Let's hope he didn't catch Shank's number. Skidmore controls it off the faceoff. They clear it into the Mohawk zone, but offside call at the blue line. So we'll start things over again. This time they'll move the faceoff outside the blue line on the far side of the ice. 56 seconds left on the Mohawk penalty, leading to the Skidmore man advantage now. Again, we had the matching penalties called at the end of the first period with that shoving match. Scott McDonald for the Mohawks, and I'm not sure which Skidmore player got whistled off. Faceoff was controlled by the Mohawks. They were able to clear it all the way down into the Skidmore zone. It's Evan Duggan starting it out of his own zone, but he's broken up Mohawks almost had an opportunity as Chris Pettengill, forechecking, broke that play up. Fred Orsea in his own zone for Skidmore starts it up on the near side to Patrick Hutchins. Hutchins brings it out to center. Bothered there by Jordan Osga. Now Hutchins gets it and clears it into the Mohawk zone. Under 30 seconds left on the penalty now. This time Shank's clearing pass went into the stands over on the far side. So whistle for the faceoff, which will come in the Mohawk zone to the left of goaltender Phil Roach, who looked good in that first period for the Mohawks, George.
Oh, he came up big there in the last few minutes of the period. And now it's just a matter of holding on to this lead here. But Skidmore is really not mounting that much of an attack there in the power play. With 20 seconds left, they still only, they haven't really had a shot on net.
Faceoff is controlled by the Mohawks. Shank is able to get it, but he can't clear it out. It's kept in at the left point by Micah Deary. Deary was able to clear it in deep, and now Brian Keogh able to get it and clear it down the length of the ice. All the way on to goaltender John Olson. Now on the near side, John Boudreau starts it out. Boudreau out to center ice, over the line, left side. Clears it in deep. Goes over on the far side. On it first there is Evan Duggan. Duggan broken up. Puck is cleared all the way down into the Skidmore zone. A race. T.J. Windsor back on the ice for the Mohawks, but getting to it first was Drake. Windsor now dug it free for the moment near the side of the net. It went over across the goal mouth, but on the far side it's cleared away. Sent over the line for Patrick McAvoy. Goes for a shot and a save by the goaltender Roach. Puck is cleared out to center. Roach got that with the top part of his stick. On the near side, Jeff Drake at center ice. Tried to get it into the Mohawk zone, but it was broken up by Moriarty. Moriarty tried to feed it ahead of Windsor off of his stick into the Skidmore zone. Skating out with it is Jeff Drake. He's bothered by a couple of Mohawks there, but now finally picked up by McAvoy. McAvoy goes over the line. A shot and a save by Roach. Smothers it in his chest and hangs on for the faceoff. Both teams at full strength now. At number 4, Brian Neary was the Skidmore player, along with Scott McDonald, that got whistled off for those penalties at the end of the period.
Well, Roach there again with another nice stop, and on the previous shot before that, I don't know if it hit the top of the stick bridge or the post, but either way, that's a couple of the goalie's best friends there.
Face-off in the Mohawk zone. It is controlled by the Mohawks. Mike Moriarty got it over to Jay Vandera. Vandera over on the left side has it. Skates with it, now lost it, regained by the Mohawks. Now Skidmore able to get it, and they clear it into the Mohawk zone. Back forward is Mike Moriarty. Tried to get a long pass ahead to Connolly. It was broken up near the blue line. Now diving was Brian Keogh, or rather Vandor, to try to clear it out. It's sent back in to the Mohawk goaltender Roach, who leaves it there for Mike Moriarty. Moriarty cleared to center. Manan knocks it right back in. Back for Jay Vandera. Vandera for the Mohawks, being bothered there and broken up by Connor McDavitt. McDavitt has it here, out near the blue line. Brought it outside and then brought it back over, so a whistle for the offside. And McDavitt doesn't like the call. Speaking with the official, but very clearly that puck came 3-4 inches out of the zone.
That was a little late call there, too. If he misses that, then the officials can screw that up, and maybe possibly a goal for Skidmore gets in on a little mistake like that. The whistle was blown. Slight technical difficulties there, Rich, but the Mohawks are defensively really strong right now.
Mohawks get it. Skidmore able to clear it into the Mohawk zone. Back for there is Matt Gray. Gray bothered off the play and now gets it. Matt Gray skates with it at center ice for the Mohawks. He goes over the line right side. Tries to get around Brian Neary, but was broken up on the play. Puck loose near the faceoff circle. Regained by Pettengill. It's loose in front of the goaltender Olsen. Pettengill shot it on a save. Rebound comes on the near side. Matt Anderson battling for it. It's loose now near the side of the net. Olsen is down. Mohawks' Tom Garman battling for it in the near corner with Joe Hooker. Still battling. Now puck comes free and whistle. The net became dislodged, apparently.
Yeah, it looks like the net's off on the right side.
That's a good move by the goaltender. Some pressure, so knocked the net off, right?
Yeah, actually it was. The goalie lowered his shoulder, and when he popped back up, he came up underneath the side. You could tell he was doing it on purpose, but the officials didn't even notice the net was off, so obviously they didn't see it. And that's a nice move with the puck in one of your lower corners there.
Faceoff is going to come to the left of the goaltender Olsen. 16:02 left second period. Mohawks with the 1-0 lead in the hockey game. Puck is controlled by Brian Neary for Skidmore. He brings it behind his net. bothered there by Jordan Ozga. And also in to help out Phil Blanchett. Now on the near side, it's Joe Hooker. Hooker tried to get a pass over on the right, but it was broken up by McDonald and knocked right back in. Skidmore having trouble getting it out of their own zone. Good Mohawk forechecking. Jordan Ozga in the corner. Tried to dig it free, but now it's taken by Kevin Bryant. Now Ozga centers it in front. No Mohawk was there. Skated out by Patrick Hutchins. Hutchins on the near side connects with Hooker. Hooker over the line. Ridden deep into the corner. Good play by Scott McDonald to dive out and block the attempted pass. But it's kept in at the right point for a shot blocked in front. Cleared away by Ozga. Ozga blocked that shot. Now the goaltender Olsen way out of net to clear it on the near side. Larry Schenk gets a shot right on a save by the goaltender Olsen, who had just gotten back into the crease. He's able to hang on for the faceoff. The goaltender Olsen there. Dangerous play as he came way out of net. And problem number one, he almost shot it into the stands, which would have been a 2-minute penalty. But then when he didn't, Larry Schenk was able to get in, and Olsen had to hustle back in the net.
He beat the Mohawks at the puck there, but didn't clear it out of the zone.
Faceoff is controlled by Skidmore on the near side. It's broken up in front by DeRocher. Now going for a shot is Schlegel, and a save by the goaltender Olsen. Rebound in front. Derek DeRocher shot it up over the net. And the faceoff is going to be outside the zone as that shot up over the glass and into the netting. Some good opportunities by the Mohawks, taking advantage of some Skidmore misplays. They've been coughing the puck up right out in front.
This Mohawk team, actually Skidmore, is looking like the Mohawks of old. All of last year, the struggles the Mohawks had, just the slightest little turnover resulted in an offensive opportunity for the Mohawks opposition. But in this game especially, the Mohawks are doing the opposite.
They haven't been able to take advantage of it as far as putting it in the net yet, but that'll be just a matter of time. On the near side, Derek DeRocher hitting and battling for it there with Richard Shue. Now puck comes out behind the net for Micah Deary. Deary starts it out at center, connects with Shue. Shue takes a wicked hit by Moriarty, was knocked off the play. Puck comes out to center. Over on the far side, Colin Whalen knocked off the play. Vandera in there to hit. Some heavy hitting over on the far side. And now the whistle and perhaps a penalty coming up. No, puck squirted out of the stands, so the face-off in the neutral zone. This has been a chippy hockey game. Just 5 minor penalties called to this point, but late in that first period and in the early going of the second period here, George, it's clear these teams don't like each other much.
No, this game so far has come down to who can hit who harder.
There have been some big hits. Face-off control by the Mohawks, but they have to go all the way deep in their own zone for it. Matt Gray puts it on the near side for Mike Weiss. Weiss is broken up, and the puck was knocked back in deep. Brian Keogh behind the net tried to get it on the left to Pat Leahy, but that was broken up, and now the Mohawks regain it. Matt Gray sends it out to Weiss at center ice. Now off the stick of Scott Connolly deep into the Skidmore zone. Connolly puts it behind the net off of Leahy's stick. Comes on the near side, and now skating it out to center was number 3, John Boudreau. Number 6 is Pat McAvoy over the line left side. Knocked off the play by Matt Gray. And we've got a whistle behind the play and a penalty coming up. A charging call, and apparently that's going to come against the Mohawks. Mike Weiss is going to get the gate here, a charging call, and the Mohawks will be shorthanded.
Well, Weiss doesn't seem too happy with the call, but skates into the box, and now he's pleading his case with the coaches on the bench like I didn't do anything wrong. But this could be a costly penalty right now with the puck starting in your zone and a power play here for Skidmore, who near the end of the first period was starting to put the puck on net. And now this is a great opportunity for them right here at the beginning of the second period.
Killing off the penalty, Jordan Ozga, Tom Garman, Scott McDonald, and Larry Schenk, the crew on for the Mohawks. Garman is able to get it off the face-off and clear it back into the Skidmore zone. Back for it is Brian Neary. Neary starting it out on the near side. Got it up to Patrick Hutchins. Hutchins knocked off the play, but now taken by McDavitt and cleared into the Mohawk zone. Backward there is Larry Schenk. He golfs it along the near boards. Ozga couldn't get it. It's kept in by Hutchins. Hutchins puts it to the right point for Brian Neary. A wrist shot in and a glove save by Roach. No rebound. He hangs on for the face-off. With a minute and a half left on the penalty, face-off will come to the Mohawk goaltender's left.
Well, that's the whole idea of this Mohawk penalty kill. They want the perimeter shots.
Puck loose in the circle after the faceoff. Connor McDavitt battling forward along the far boards with McDonald. Now it's dug free by Hutchins. Hutchins out near the right point. Holds it. Now got it in deep to McDavitt. A return pass didn't connect and comes all the way back into the Skidmore zone. Some bad passing there. They're on the power play but having trouble with the puck. Chris Dunn put it on the far side. Pass didn't connect and McDonald is able to get it and clear it down into the Skidmore zone. Minute left on the penalty. In his own zone, Patrick Hutchins starts it up. Got it on the right for Neary. Neary connects at center ice with Hutchins over the line. Shot wide, short side. Rebound comes all the way out for a diving Tom Schlegel just on, and he's able to clear it out to center. With it is Connor McDavitt. McDavitt bothered by Matt Anderson, but still has it. McDavitt out to center ice. Now he's got a head of steam. He goes over the line, goes for a shot and a save. It's kicked out by Roach. And the rebound cleared away by the Mohawks. With it is Scott McDonald. He's able to clear it down the length of the ice. Goaltender Olsen out to leave it and get it away from Matt Anderson. Out to center ice. It's off of Schlegel's skate. And Larry Shank able to get it and clear it down into the Skidmore zone. On it there is Chris Dunn in the corner, bothered by the forechecking of Anderson. Now Schlegel tries to knock him off the puck at the blue line, but he's able to clear it into the Mohawk zone. Penalty just about set to expire here. Puck out loose near the blue line. It's kept in by Boudreau. Now cleared away. Number 4 is Brian Neary. He kept it away from Matt Anderson. Both teams at full strength now. Far side, it's Fred Orsea over the line. Orsea tries to cut right through, does, but couldn't get the shot off, and the puck just rolled to the goaltender Roach, who's able to get it and hang on for the faceoff. Orsea, a good scoring opportunity there as he penetrated, went right in on the goaltender, but at the last moment lost control of the puck, and fortunately for Phil Roach, it rolled right to him.
Skidmore waited a little bit too long to try and penetrate like that. Penalty expires, and they get that nice rush like that up the middle with an extra man. That could be a nice drop pass with a man screening the front of the net.
But the Mohawks successfully kill off the power play for Skidmore, and they still lead 1-0 in the hockey game. Off the faceoff, Mohawks clear it. No icing ruled here. Goaltender Olsen out to play it behind the net. Now a whistle. Goaltender played it behind the net and was bothered there by Pat Leahy, and the net became dislodged again. That was the cause of the whistle. I don't know how it got dislodged because the goalie was behind the net and so was Pat Leahy, but somebody must have got a piece of it on the way around. Face off to the left of the goaltender John Olsen, a sophomore for Skidmore in net tonight. Face-off is controlled by the Mohawks. They were able to get a backhanded shot in, but it was blocked in front. Skated away by Richard Shue for Skidmore. Skid goes over the line, a backhanded flip up high. Now on the far side, battling for it was Scott Connolly. Got it ahead to Weiss. Weiss at center ice, lost control of the puck, and it's cleared back out into the Mohawk zone. Colin Whalen on it first there. Centers it across the goal mouth. Nobody else there. Weiss now is able to clear it out to center. Good opportunity for Skidmore a moment ago. Now they bring it back over the line and a whistle for the offside. Approaching the midway point of this second period, 10:55 left. The Mohawks with the 1-0 lead, but Skidmore with their power play and the subsequent minute or so showing a little more offensive spark.
Yeah, they're starting to pick up their skating more for carrying the puck than just near the end of the first period and just skating and hitting. Now they're actually carrying the puck around.
Face-off is controlled by the Mohawks. Pat Leahy couldn't get it. He was snapped off the play by Chris Dunn. Now it is Scott McDonald clearing it into the Skidmore zone. Knocked back right out to center. Larry Shank for the Mohawks. Lost it, and it's cleared in by Evan Duggan into the Mohawk zone. Along the near corner, Connor McDavitt tries to dig it free, but Shank got it. He put it over on the far side. McDonald battling for it there with Sidoric. McDonald fell down. Puck now comes free. Scott McDonald gets it up ahead to Blanchette. Phil Blanchette. Now to Scott Connolly. Connolly goes over the line right side. Tried to get it over to Blanchette, but in a maze of players, the pass was broken up and skated away by Ryan Mahady. Long shot from the blue line and a glove save by Roach. And he hangs on for the faceoff with number 7, James Sidoric, right on his doorstep. So another whistle, and both teams will change up here. Mohawks with the 1-0 lead. A goal in the first period by T.J. Windsor. his second of the season. He scored in one of the previous games. He's a junior transfer from Bowie, Maryland, and he's played well for the Mohawks. He'll be on the face-off here against Pat McAvoy. It's controlled by Skidmore. A shot from the right point, deflected wide on the near side. Tom Schlegel carries out to center. Got it to Derek DeRocher over the line. Left side, Windsor goes for a shot. Beautiful glove save by Don Olson. As T.J. Windsor streaking down the left side was set up by Derek DeRocher. Good passing by the Mohawks. Windsor got a good shot labeled up the upper corner, but Olson flashed out the glove and made the stop.
As you mentioned a little bit there, Rich, it looks like Windsor and Matt Anderson have been two great acquisitions.
Face-off is in the Skidmore zone on the near side. Matt Gray out near the blue line, but Schlegel got it, kept it in deep. In behind the net, Fred Orsea. Bothered there by a couple of Mohawks. Pat Leahy dug it free for the moment. Now it is number 22, Orsea, putting it on the near side behind the net to Brian Neary. Neary banks it off the boards. Pass connects with John Boudreau. Boudreau carries to center. Got it over on the right for John Cazzolo. Clears it into the Mohawk zone. On it first is Boudreau on the near side. He's broken up by Matt Gray. That goes back in deep in the corner. Now behind the net, Gray and Boudreau exchange some heavy hits. Now Brian Keogh on the far side battles with McAvoy. Keogh was able to dig it free. Put it over to Gray on the near side. Now a pass intended for Schlegel was broken up. And Gray and number 3 Boudreau were still tangled up. And we're going to have matching penalties coming up here. As Matt Gray of the Mohawks. And is it McAvoy or Boudreau for Skidmore are both going to be getting the gate here. Are we going to have 2 Skidmore penalties? Apparently that's what we're going to have, so Mohawks should have the man advantage here. They're calling 2 Skidmore penalties and 1 against the Mohawks.
Well, this will be a great opportunity here for the Mohawks to add to their 1-0 lead just under halfway through this period, Rich, and the play for the Mohawks maybe a little bit down compared to the first period, but they're still skating and trying to take advantage of some opportunities and some miscues by Skidmore's passing. But it looks right now at this point of the period that Skidmore is the one that's skating a little bit stronger in this period, and they've gotten a few opportunities out of that.
Evan Duggan and Boudreau are the players in the penalty box for Skidmore. Matt Gray for the Mohawks. We'll have to wait for the announcement to see what penalties were called here. Face-off is going to be outside the Mohawk blue line. Scott Connolly and Tom Schlegel up front for the Mohawks, along with Shank and Moriarty. Now a lead pass ahead for Schlegel. Windsor is also on the ice. Windsor has it in the corner. Now Schlegel to Windsor on the near side. T.J. Windsor for the Mohawks holds it here. Now got it in deep for Schlegel behind the net. Schlegel tried to center it out in front. It was knocked back behind the net again. Schlegel still has it. Now T.J. Windsor to the left point. Moriarty. Shot in, deflected, and up off the crossbar, I believe. Now rebound comes out in front. Moriarty goes for a shot on a save by the goaltender. And a whistle for what, I don't know, but the official
in the crease.
Okay, player in the crease, and the face-off will be outside the Skidmore blue line. Golden opportunity for the Mohawks as shot in front, deflected high, and I believe Georgia hit the crossbar.
Yeah, that one hit the crossbar, dropped down right in the crease there, and got cleared out just in time. But Windsor was in the crease there, I guess, and that's why they call him out of the zone.
Minute 31 left on the Mohawk power play. Let's get the announcement on the penalties.
Evan Duggan, 2 minutes, clock check. And number 3, John Boudreau, 2 minutes, clock check.
Mohawks' Larry Shank got a shot, and it was kicked out by Olson. Matt Gray's penalty was roughing. In behind the net, Schlegel and Windsor battle for it. Mike Moriarty gets it at the left point. Now in deep to Connolly. Connolly now to Windsor. Windsor behind the net. Now out in front. A shot of the scorer. Scott Connolly fed from Windsor behind the net. On the power play, the Mohawks make it 2-0.
Just great play in there from the Mohawk power play unit again. T.J. Windsor again proving his worth. A great transfer pickup, as I was starting to say earlier, and his offensive numbers have really been helping this team so far in the season, including one of their losses. He got something on the board, so there's no shutout. But then today, it's resulting in he has a +2 on the ice right now, and one of the goals being his and an assist. And he has come up big for this Mohawk club.
Windsor with the goal and assist. Connolly the goal here on the power play. Mohawks make it 2-0. Let's get the announcement. Mohawks still battle in front. Matt Anderson was set up and he shot it wide of the net. Now McDonald, a shot from the left point, wide on the short side. Rebound comes near side. Some heavy hitting as Anderson throwing the body. Now puck loose out near the blue line. Garment knocked off the play. Comes out to center ice and Shank clears it right back in. Mohawks playing inspired hockey once again as they lit the lamp to make it 2-0, and now they're out there hustling. On the near side, it is Connor McDavitt for Skidmore, carrying it out to center. Clears it into the Mohawk zone. Goaltender Roach leaves it there for McDonald. McDonald put it on the near side for Pat Leahy. Leahy broken up for the moment. Regained now by McDonald and cleared out to center. Some heavy hitting over along the far boards. Now with it, Weiss overskated it, but Larry Shank gets it. Shank clears it into the Skidmore zone. Pat Leahy on it first there, battling in the corner. Now in behind the net, Mike Weiss. And number 12, Kevin Bryant battle. Comes on the near side, Connolly. Put it over far side, Pat Leahy. Has some trouble with it. Leahy, though, still has it in the face-off circle. Puts it in deep into the corner. Now it's loose out in front and skated off by Skidmore. With it is Patrick Hutchins. Hutchins takes a hit by Shank at center ice. Snapped off the puck. Taken by Leahy now, and he clears it into the Skidmore zone. With it is number 8, Jeff Drake. Drake clears it into the Mohawk zone. Over in the far corner, it's number 21, Colin Whalen. Whalen tried to put it back out near the point, but it was broken up by the Mohawks. Puck comes into the neutral zone and now into the Skidmore zone. It's in the skates of number 8, Jeff Drake. We've got a penalty coming up against Skidmore here. Larry Shank has it out near the left point. Gets it to McDonald. A shot through a screen. Score! The goaltender Olsen made the stop, but unable to hang on to it, and it just dribbled across the goal line. Scott McDonald with the shot from the left point has put the Mohawks up 3-0.
Great initial save by Olsen there, but the puck broke off his shoulder and behind him and slowly trickled in the net. And that's the worst feeling for a goalie when you turn your head and you see the puck and you can't reach out to grab it. But this Mohawk team, I think this is the team that Sally Alley was expecting when he started last year. He wanted to do something with this North Adams Mass College of Liberal Arts club now and get it back to how it used to be. And if this is a team that's going to be playing this year, then he has a good shot of doing something special for once with this club.
It looks like Skidmore is going to call timeout to try to regroup here, which is good because we'll be able to recap the scoring in the last couple of minutes by the Mohawks. They lead 3-0. This goal should be Scott McDonald. We'll wait for the assists, but the goals coming just 2 minutes and 1 second apart. Scott Connolly, his first of the season for the Mohawks at the 12:01 mark. TJ Windsor and Moriarty assisting. Let's get the announcement. Steve Galley on the public address system. We kind of have a hacked up system to be able to pick up the announcements tonight. Starting next week, we'll have a nice, clear, crisp wireless microphone down in there, so we'll be able to hear the public address system a little bit better. The PA system here in the Rink George is horrendous.
Oh, it's awful. And we all know that everyone out there doesn't want to just hear our voices. They want to hear the Mohawk voice of Steve Galley.
So the Mohawks with a 3-0 lead now, and after the Mohawks scored that second goal, as I said, there was just 2 minutes and 1 second between it. But in that 2 minutes, the Mohawks were just everywhere.
They were all over the ice during that part of this period.
Matt Anderson on the faceoff for the Mohawks. At center ice wins it. Matt Gray clears it into the Skidmore zone. Back for it is Brian Neary. Put it on the near side, but Gray kept it in at the point. In the corner now, it is number 24, Micah Deary. Deary got it on the near side for Hornsby. Now over to McAvoy. McAvoy clears it into the Mohawk zone and is on it first there. Now Brian Keogh got it up ahead to Matt Gray. Gray tried to connect with Pettengill, but it was broken up and cleared back into the Mohawk zone. Now they started back up. Garmin at center ice, a clear into the Skidmore zone. Mohawks on a line change here. Out at center ice, Matt Gray breaks the play up and clears it back into the Thoroughbred zone. On it there is Jeff Drake. Drake got it on the near side for Boudreau. Boudreau lost it. It was broken up. TJ Windsor battling in the corner, tried to feed DeRocher out near the blue line, didn't connect. Now DeRocher keeps it in near the blue line. Windsor didn't see it. It was in his skates, and the puck is cleared out to center. All the way back into the Mohawk zone, Mike Moriarty just on the ice for Mass College. A pass up ahead to DeRocher, but ruled offside. DeRocher would have been in alone with some skating room on the left side, but just a little bit ahead of the pass, and an offside called against the Mohawks, and the faceoff will be brought back down just inside the Mohawk blue line. 4:51 left, second period, 3-0 Mohawks.
Rich, that was a great idea there by Moriarty and DeRocher, but DeRocher seemed a little anxious there. He sees the puck coming, he starts stepping a little too early and crossed over the line.
Faceoff is controlled by Skidmore. Number 2, Pete Manan, clears it into the Mohawk zone. Moriarty is able to get it out up ahead of Weiss and deep into the Thoroughbred zone now. Chris Dunn starts it up on the near side, clears it out to center. Mohawks regain it. Moriarty clears it back into the Skidmore zone. Goaltender Olsen leaves it on the near side. Mohawks forechecking. Puck cleared out to center. It's taken by Moriarty. Moriarty clears it right back in. Back on it first there is Chris Dunn for Skidmore. He starts it out. A pass behind Connor McDavitt. Now comes out to center, and Moriarty clears it back into the Skidmore zone. Play at center ice. Puck now cleared down into the Mohawk zone. On it first, in behind the net is Connor McDavitt. Bothered there by Moriarty. Moriarty rides him to the boards. Now puck kept in near the blue line. And knocked back in front. Vandera broke the play up. It's out near the left point now, and Chris Dunn is able to clear it in deep. McDavitt behind the net tried to center it out in front. Nobody there. And now the Mohawks break it out. On the left side, Pat Leahy clears it into the Skidmore zone as the Mohawks now change up. And a pass up ahead on the near side intended for Duggan was broken up. And a whistle for offside at the Skidmore blue line. Just over 3.5 minutes to go. Mohawks playing as well in this second period as they did in the first, George.
Yeah, they started off a little slow at the beginning of the period, letting Skidmore try and get back in this game. But then after a few opportunities of their own, they just kept firing the puck, firing the back of the net.
Mohawks control the faceoff. Larry Shank clears it into the Skidmore zone. Goaltender Duggan leaves it there for Colin Whalen. Whalen starts it up on the left side. Now to Roser. Roser got it up ahead to Hutchins, who gets it into the Mohawk zone, but the play broken up by number 11, Chris Pettengill. Pettengill kicks it free. Now in behind the net. It's loose in front. A backhander and a save by Roach. Number 19, Joe Hooker, got it alone in front, about 15 feet out. Went for the backhander, and Phil Roach, equal to the task, he hangs on for the faceoff. And Phil Roach hasn't seen an awful lot of activity here in the second period, but through these first two periods, he looked sharp in net for the Mohawks.
Yeah, he hasn't really seen many shots throughout the entire game thus far, but the ones he's seen have been right on his doorstep, and he's come up really big right now for the Mohawk team, especially to holding this at the shutout.
One of the keys that I've noticed in Roach's goaltending this year as opposed to last is he doesn't let those rebounds free.
That's right, Rich.
Play on in the Mohawk zone in the corner. It's kicked free in behind the net. Now the Mohawks have it. It's Matt Anderson broken up. And going for a backhander was McDavitt wide of the net far side. Matt Gray takes it behind his own net. Now starts it up on the left. Got it over to Brian Keogh. Now Cass connects at center ice for Matt Anderson. Anderson over the line trying to cut through the defense, was broken up. And the puck is cleared out to center. Possible 2-on-1 for Skidmore over the line right side. Number 9, Brian Sennett goes for a shot and a save by the goaltender Roach. Again, no rebound. So Phil Roach taking those shots. Most of the shots that Skidmore have taken have been up high and right into Roach's midsection, and that allows him to hang on.
Right, but you're absolutely right, Rich. He's been working on more of holding on to the puck than either just letting it go or trying to kick it out with his pad. And I feel it's safer to hold the puck than just let it go around loose in the zone.
For the Mohawks now, T.J. Windsor along with Schlegel and DeRocher the line on. It's DeRocher battling in the corner, or make that Moriarty. Moriarty was double-teamed but got the puck away. Now it's broken up by John Boudreau. Boudreau behind the net, bothered there by Windsor. Now Vandera in to try to help out. Puck comes loose near the side of the net. It's knocked away to the far boards. And now T.J. Windsor behind the net. Puck comes loose in front dangerously. Cleared away to the corner. Windsor lost it for the moment. McAvoy gets it. McAvoy now goes for a shot. Duggan went for the shot, and it was a save. Rebound far side. It's Chris Dunn. Dunn's pass was broken up, and we've got some activity behind the play and a penalty coming up. Icing is the whistle, but a penalty coming up against the Mohawks. Mike Moriarty is going to be getting an interference call here. So with under 2 minutes to go in the second period, the Mohawks find themselves shorthanded. I didn't see what caused the interference and what Moriarty did to get the whistle because it was behind the play. But there were a couple of players jammed up near the net, and Moriarty getting the whistle. As
Skidmore players started to release out of the zone, Moriarty decided to bump one of them off, and just the littlest thing like that when you're starting to pull away, sometimes there are officials trying to keep the game on a level playing field.
So 1:55 left. This penalty, unless Skidmore scores on the power play, will overlap into the third period. Faceoff is controlled by Skidmore. Over on the far side, Connor McDavitt trying to get it up ahead to Hutchins. Hutchins now, McDavitt bothered there by Jordan Osga, penalty killer for the Mohawks. Now Brian Neary goes for a shot and a save by Roach. The rebound and another stop by Roach, a beauty, and he pounces on the rebound. Couple of shots there, and Roach equal to the task once again for the Mohawks. The first shot he saw all the way. The rebound was put up high, and Roach standing his ground.
Looks like his glove hand, when he covered up, got either stepped on or slashed. He has the glove off, and he's shaking his hand around like it's a stinger. It looked like one of the Skidmore players' skates stepped on him, and that could be a serious thing, but I guess he's all right now.
Faceoff is going to be to his left. It's Tom Garman now. Up front for the Mohawks, killing this penalty. No, actually, Garman's going to skate off now. Matt Anderson will stay on. I believe Tom Schlegel, the other penalty killer, that's who it is. Schlegel trying to dig it free in the faceoff circle. Now it's kept in over on the far boards by Patrick Hutchins. Hutchins got it to McDavitt near the side of the net. Centered in front and a save by Roach. Patrick Hutchins was set up in front and Roach made a beautiful stop. Puck was cleared down the length of the ice by the Mohawks. And back for it there, number 4, Brian Neary for Skidmore. Phil Roach in net for the Mohawks is coming up big late in the second period. Brian Neary in his own zone tried to get a long pass up ahead to McDavitt. Was broken up by Shank as we're into the final minute of the period. Puck cleared into the Mohawk zone. Brian Keogh banks it out to center. Brian Neary is on it there. He flips it back into the Mohawk zone. A funny bounce off the boards in the corner comes in front, and Roach bounces on it and hangs on for the faceoff. 54 seconds left on the penalty, 49 seconds left in the second period. It's a 3-0 Mohawk lead and staying 3-0 thanks to Phil Roach.
Roach is putting on a clinic right now. Anything coming his way, he's stopping. And this is definitely a big confidence builder for the Mohawks right now, knowing that their goalie can help them out here.
In the final minute of the second period, Skidmore controls the faceoff. A shot from the point was blocked by Brian Keogh. That stung. Puck cleared back into the Skidmore zone. Broken up now by the Mohawks. The forechecking of Jordan Osga broke that up for the moment, but regained now by Chris Dunn for Skidmore. Dunn in his own zone. Got it over to Brian Neary. Neary at center ice is just decked by Jordan Osga and knocked into the Mohawk penalty box. And the gate to the penalty box comes off. The gate just fell right off. Obviously a whistle here, and this could be a couple of minutes before we resume play, because I think they're going to have to do some serious surgery to the boards over on the far side. The gate, the hinges just gave up the ghost.
I think they might have to call this the second period and add this 25-9 onto the third.
I think that's what they're doing. The official coming over to the Skidmore coach here, and I have a feeling that might be what they're doing. Nobody's even tending to the injured gate over there. 25.9 seconds left in the second period, and to put some hinges on a gate is a tough thing, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to stop it right here with 25 seconds left in the second period.
Well, we said this was a hard-hitting game, Rich.
That was Jordan Osga that sent the Skidmore player. He just decked him in front of the penalty box area, sent him into the board so hard he just wiped out the gate and wiped out the end of the second period. So we'll have an extra 25 seconds tacked on to the third period. George, I've been all out of breath since running around between our periods here. The rink staff had to steal one of our extension cords between the periods to fix the boards over on the far side. Skidmore, after controlling the faceoff, still has it in the Mohawk zone here. At the point, it is Micah Deary going for a shot. Saved by Roach on the rebound. Cleared away by Larry Shank. Into the stands just below us here. Good play by Shank, clearing that rebound away as Phil Roach made the initial stop. And Phil Roach, with the shutout to this point, has played great in net for the Mohawks. And he's one of the major reasons that they are leading at this point, 3-0. It's going to be Tom Schlegel taking, or TJ Windsor on the faceoff against Mahady. It's won by the Mohawks. They're able to clear it down the length of the ice. 15 seconds left on the Mohawk penalty. In his own zone, Pete Manan for Skidmore starting it up. Got it up to center, but it was broken up by McDonald and cleared back into Skidmore zone. Jeff Drake starts it out here, connects with John Boudreau at center ice. He clears it into the Mohawk zone, rolls to the goaltender Phil Roach, who hangs on for the faceoff. James Sidoric right on his doorstep, but Larry Shank cleared him out.
Again, Roach just not willing to give anything up here. He had a slight chance to move that before the Skidmore player got in, but he's taking the safe route here and wants to keep this 3-0 lead in his favor.
Keeps the seconds ticking off the clock, and now the Mohawks back at full strength here. TJ Windsor on the faceoff. It was controlled in the circle for the moment by Skidmore, but now broken up, and the puck comes out to center. Colin Whalen trying to get it into the Mohawk zone, but he was met at the blue line, and now Mike Moriarty gets it. Gets it to the Skidmore blue line, cleared back to center. Moriarty now clear into the Skidmore zone. Backcourt there is Micah Deary. Deary got it over on the far side to Drake. Jeff Drake skating hard, left side over the line, now stops, goes for the wrist shot, kicked out by Roach. Comes on the near side for TJ Windsor. Windsor tried to get it up to center, didn't connect, and it's taken by Skidmore. With it is Deary. Deary lost it, has to go back deep for it. In behind his own net now. Got it up on the near side for Micah Deary. Deary broken up by Weiss at the blue line. Mohawks regain it. Over the line, Matt Gray right side. Drops it for Weiss. Weiss tried to get a pass to Connolly, but it was deflected. Pat Leahy gets it on the near side now. Now behind the net is Weiss. Weiss to Leahy. Through a screen. Didn't get good wood on it. Shot it on the short side wide. Now Weiss and Connolly trying to get it over on the far side. Dug free by Weiss. Now at the point, Matt Gray a shot. Wide short side. Rebound comes on the near side. Pat Leahy trying to dig it free. Now Weiss in with Leahy. Drake handling there for Skidmore trying to get it free. Now Leahy gets it to Weiss. A wrist shot up high over the net. Rebound along the backboards. Leahy battling for it there. Pat Leahy bothered by Jeff Drake. Drake and Leahy still battle. Now puck comes free for Evan Duggan. We'll make that Richard Shue. Shue put it on the near side up near the blue line. It was broken up. Now regained by Micah Deary. Deary now lost it to Connolly. Connolly clears it into the Skidmore zone as the Mohawks are on a line change. We've got a penalty coming up away from the play. Number 9, Brian Sennett for Skidmore, I believe, is going to be getting an interference call here. And the Mohawks will be going on the power play.
That was a pretty marginal hooking call, but great job drawing a penalty there. I think it was Anderson who, they don't like you saying it, but he basically took a dive there. But it's going to pay off here, I think, for the Mohawks, as their power play unit in the first two periods just clicked perfectly. Crisp passes, great scoring opportunities, and the puck went in the net once.
And they're on the power play now with Scott Connolly taking the draw. It's to the left of the goaltenders for Skidmore, Olsen. Out near the blue line, Larry Shank with it. Shank dropped it back to Connolly. Connolly now got it in deep through the skates of Windsor. Now Schlegel behind the net. Put it on the near side. Mike Moriarty up from the left point to keep it in deep. Now exchanging passes with Windsor. TJ Windsor lost it, but Mike Moriarty keeps it in at the left point. Moriarty in for Schlegel through his skates, goes behind the net. He battles for it there with Chris Dunn. Dunn and Schlegel trying to tie it up, but Windsor digs it free. In for Moriarty, a save by Olsen as Moriarty was set up about 20 feet out in front. Got the shot up high, and Olsen made the stop.
Again, a little trouble handling the puck there, but the Mohawks are capitalizing on any opportunity they can and putting the puck on net. And so far during this game, over the first two periods, when they put the puck on the net, good things have happened. Right now, that's what they're just going to keep trying to do.
Weiss replaces Connolly now. The rest of the lineup stays the same for the Mohawks. Puck controlled by Skidmore. They clear it down into the Mohawk zone. Goaltender Roach leaves it there. 1:15 left on the Mohawk power play. Larry Shank in his own zone now. Starts it up on the left side. Got it up to center. Tried to connect with Moriarty, but it didn't. Now Schlegel gets it over the line. Schlegel feeds it to Windsor on the right. Saved by the goaltender, and the rebound was set and cleared away by Neary. Neary now battles on the near side with TJ Windsor, or make that Schlegel. Now in behind the net. It's taken by Fred Orsea. Kept in at the right point by Keogh for a shot and a save. Rebound. Windsor got a shot, and Olsen made the save. Moriarty keeps it in at the left point. In for Schlegel. Schlegel now to Windsor. Windsor puts it onto the side of the net. Goes along the far side now. Brian Keogh able to keep it in at the right point. Keogh. Or make that Shank. That Shank. Lost control of the puck. Got misfired on it. And it's skated away by Skidmore. They get it to center. It's broken up by Shank and cleared back into the Skidmore zone. And a mess of players collided at center ice, and we're going to have a couple penalties here. Matching penalties, it looks like. With 19 seconds left on the initial penalty and the Mohawk power play. Now we're going to have Tom Schlegel and one of the Skidmore players whose number I did not catch. Number 17, Dave Peccia. Going out. No, make that number 12, Kevin Bryant. So Bryant going out for Skidmore and Schlegel for the Mohawks. Matching penalties here will come at the 5-minute, 40-second mark.
Well, with 19 seconds left on the power play, you got to win this face-off to try and get an opportunity right away.
Face off to the right of the goaltender. It is controlled by Skidmore. In behind the net, it is Brian Neary. Puts it up on the near side for Fred Orsea, who's able to clear it down into the Mohawk zone. Back for it is Matt Gray. Gray got it on the right for Garman, but he couldn't control it. It's taken by number 4, Brian Neary. Neary goes over the line. Tried to feed it to a streaking Sidoric, but it was broken up. And now the puck comes in front of the Skidmore bench. It's taken by the Mohawks. Brian Keogh clears it in deep. Back for it there is number 4, Brian Neary. Neary puts it on the near side for Sidoric. Sidoric has some trouble with it. Lost her to the Mohawk blue line. Now clears it in, and Roach stops it. Leaves it there for Brian Keogh. Keogh a little bothered behind the net, but got it up on the right off the stick of Garman. Regained now by the Mohawks. Going over the line is Matt Anderson. Anderson ridden off the play as he tried to cut all the way through. And the puck is cleared into the Mohawk zone. Larry Shank got it up ahead. A two-man breakaway for the Mohawks, but the goaltender Olsen out to poke it away. It's out near the blue line now. A feed in for Anderson didn't connect, but on it first is TJ Windsor. Windsor on the near side puts it over to Shank up from the right point. Centers it across the goal mouth. Nobody there. Comes near side for TJ Windsor. Windsor puts it in deep. Now Matt Anderson centers it in front, but onto the stick of number 22, Fred Orsea for Skidmore. Long lead pass connects with Mahady over the line. Mahady cuts up in front, and a save by Roach. Rebound, score! The official, though, was ruling no goal. The red light went on, but the official, right on top of the play, looks like he is ruling no goal, as it was underneath Roach. Oh, no, now he's going to rule goal. The same official who was steering at it, not making a call, now apparently is ruling that it is a goal. That's hard to believe, the way the official from the corner came right over. He was hanging over the back of the net. And he apparently has ruled goal for Skidmore.
it looks like Roach is trying to plead his case here that he had the puck covered and the whistle blew before they called the goal on it, but it doesn't look like he's going to win this battle.
It'll come at the 7:12 mark. Skidmore on the scoreboard. It's 3-1 in favor of the Mohawks. Now Mohawk captain Larry Shank is over talking to the official. The initial shot, Roach made the save, and it was loose. It looked like he was underneath him for a moment. Then the red light went on, but the referee from the corner came over, and he was literally hanging over the back of the net, looking at the play, and about 30 seconds later finally decided that it was a goal. That one's a little hard to swallow if you're from the Mohawk perspective. But in any event, it's now a 2-goal lead for the Mohawks at 3-1. Be an unassisted goal. Mohawks trying to get it out of the zone. They can't. A shot in by Roach and a save. The rebound, score! Pat McAvoy puts it home for Skidmore. They have scored twice in a span of 15 seconds, and they've cut the Mohawk lead. It's 3-2.
This is a tough situation here. Momentum is starting to swing, and the Mohawks are going to have to do something here to fire themselves back up, or they could find themselves in a tie ball game here in a couple seconds, because the Skidmore team is just starting to turn their game around completely and be strong on their offensive sticks.
3-2 the score here. McAvoy scoring. Skidmore with 2 goals in a span of 15 seconds. The first one controversial, but no doubt about that one. Play now in the Skidmore zone. Mike Weiss tried to dig it free. Now Connolly trying to get a loose puck in front of the net. Finally taken by Pat Leahy. He avoids the check but loses the puck. It's number 21, Connor Whalen carrying for it. Over the line goes Richard Shue. A backhand flip in and a save by the Mohawk goaltender Phil Roach, and he hangs on for the faceoff. 12-12 left, third period. All of a sudden, a 3-2 hockey game.
Well, it looked like, an easy sail the rest of the way has turned into a real hockey game here. And that first goal, as you said, was tough to swallow. And I don't know if Roach was still thinking about it when the next series of offensive plays by Skidmore came through, but it's just not. This is not looking good right now for the Mohawks with all momentum on Skidmore's side. I'm
kind of surprised that the Mohawks didn't call timeout after that second goal to try to regroup, but they have regrouped apparently here now. A clearing pass goes all the way into the Skidmore zone. Back forward is Pete Manan. Manan put it over on the far side for Shue. Now a return pass to Manan behind the net, but keeping it at the point was McDonald. A shot and a save. Rebound. Windsor got a stick on it, but couldn't get a shot off, and the goaltender Olsen blocked it. Now puck comes all the way out ahead for number 9, Brian Sennett over the line. He goes for a shot and a save by the Mohawk goaltender Phil Roach. He hangs on once again, and a face-off in the Mohawk zone with another 30 seconds or so ticked off the clock. 11:45 left. Good opportunity for the Mohawks down one end of the ice with Skidmore back with an opportunity down at this end of the ice. It's getting to be a little wide open here in the third period.
Yeah, a little bit more wide open, Rich. And once again, Roach, though, is coming up big. I mean, the 2 goals that have come, one of them basically a fluke that somehow trickled underneath him and into the net. And the other one is tough for just about any goalie to stop in the upper right-hand corner. I mean, that was a perfect shot there.
A rebound, too.
Picked his location on the rebound and put it right in there, and that's tough to do.
Face-off is to Roach's left. It's Connolly on the draw for the Mohawks against Mahady for Skidmore. Controlled in the circle by the Thoroughbreds. Kept in at the point by Fred Orsay. And now the Mohawks get it. A 2-on-2 break. Connolly with a head of steam over the line right side. Goes for the shot, and Olsen makes the stop. He hangs on for the face-off. And another whistle, and this time Mohawks with the opportunity coming all the way down the length of the ice. And Scott Connolly with a good shot from about 25 feet out on the right side, and Olsen equal to the task right there.
Well, Connolly, Leahy, and Weiss, the number 1 line for this Mohawk team, has to get something going right here.
Shot from the point off the face-off was blacked in the circle and now skated away by Mahady. Long lead pass, Connor McDavitt on it first. McDavitt circles the net, bothered there by Shank. Now the puck comes free for Pat Leahy, or make that Scott McDonald, and the puck cleared down the length of the ice. It's going to go as icing against the Mohawks.
The worst
So
thing...
now, ever since we've had those 2 goals now, all of a sudden, George, we're getting a lot of whistles and a lot of stoppages in play.
Right, and right now I think the worst thing the Mohawks could do is try and get scared here and just start icing the puck every second, because the clock, they think it's going to help them, but the clock's just going to keep stopping, and it's going to give Skidmore more time on regular play to try and put something in the net. They got to play this like they're almost like they're behind and keep forcing the puck down the other zone.
There's still a lot of time left in this hockey game. 11:14 left, third period. A slim 1-goal lead for the Mohawks at 3-2. It's going to be Scott Connolly on the draw against Pat Hutchins. It's loose in the circle. Hutchins now clears it up deep. McDonald gets it for the Mohawks. Now sends it ahead to Scott Connolly. Connolly tries to find Pat Leahy at center ice, but the pass didn't connect, and it's taken by Hutchins. Hutchins clears it ahead. Connects over the line with Kevin Bryant right side. Goes for the shot and a save by Roach. Rebound to the corner. In behind the net, Hutchins tries to center it in front, but McDonald, defensive play there to stop it, and he gets the puck and clears it down the length of the ice to relieve the pressure here. It's icing against the Mohawks, and George, once again, the Mohawks relieving the pressure as Skidmore bringing the attack to them here in the third period.
It seems like the first 40 minutes of this game, the Mohawks were skating really strong. So far in this, the first couple of minutes of this period, they're still skating strong, but it seems like midway through, they're getting a little lackadaisical out there, and they're not skating as hard.
Mohawks are going to have to do something here to light a fire under themselves to try to get things going, as they've seen their lead almost evaporate. It's down to 1 goal. Mohawks have it at center ice. Tom Garman having trouble controlling it at the Skidmore blue line. Puck loose at center ice now in front of the Skidmore bench. Now over the line right side, McAvoy for Skidmore. Drop pass didn't connect. Mohawks able to get it and clear it back out to center. On it there is number 24, Micah Deary. Deary lost it. Mohawks get it. Brian Keogh clears it into the Skidmore zone. Backward is Jeff Drake. Drake now puts it on the near side to Duggan. Duggan at center ice. Pass broken up, but regained now over the line by Pat McAvoy. Now Mohawks get it. Skating behind his own net is Anderson. He's bothered by McAvoy, but still has it. Matt Anderson carries it center ice. Over the line left side. Finally ridden off the play by Deary. In the corner, though, Anderson and Deary still battle. And number 16, Evan Duggan, just threw a punch and knocked down McDonald, or rather Anderson, and no penalty. Puck cleared back in deep in the Skidmore zone. On it is Jeff Drake. Drake skating with it here at center ice. Connects with McAvoy off his stick into the Mohawk zone. Skidmore on a line change here, and the Mohawks started up. Derek DeRocher went off his stick. He could have been in alone on a breakaway as Skidmore was on a line change. Now Windsor goes for a shot. Kicked out. A beautiful stop there by the goaltender Olsen. Rebound was knocked away. Now Mohawks trying to get it out near the blue line. It's finally taken by Chris Dunn for Skidmore. Dunn put it to the Mohawk blue line. Moriarty gets it. Clears it back out to center. Now cleared into the Mohawk zone. Mike Moriarty, the big defenseman for the Mohawks, puts it behind the net over on the far side. Trying to pick it up ahead. Now it's taken by Chris Dunn. Knocked back in deep. Up loose out near the middle now. Finally cleared to the near boards. Kept in at the point by Chris Dunn. He put it in behind the net over on the far side. Schlegel and Richard Shue collide. Kept in at the blue line by Pete Manan. Knocked in deep into the Mohawk zone. Jay Vandera on now. Mohawk defenseman starts it out on the right. Pass was knocked down out near the blue line by Skidmore, and they clear it back in deep. 8.5 minutes left in this third period. Mohawks get it, a long lead pass off of the stick of DeRocher, goes down the length of the ice, and the goaltender, John Olsen, hangs on for the faceoff with Derek DeRocher right on his doorstep. Twice now, Skidmore has made line changes while the Mohawks were starting the puck out of the zone, and the Mohawks have had opportunities to send long lead passes ahead. In both instances, it was Derek DeRocher, the intended recipient of the pass. In neither case could he collect, and that would have been unfortunate because both times he would have been alone on a breakaway catching Skidmore on that line change.
Yeah, it seems like the Mohawks are starting to realize that they have to start skating again. They were talking about 60 minutes of hockey, and so far they really only played like 45, but they're starting to pick it up again.
8:22 left. Long lead pass intended for Sidorik. He has to go to the corner for it. Deep in the Mohawk zone. Tried to drop it back to the point, but Pat Leahy broke it up, and it comes to center. On it there is number 4, Brian Neary. Clears it into the Mohawk zone. Larry Shank back for it there. Puts it over on the far side for Scott Connolly, or rather Mike Weiss, who was broken up and sent back in deep. Shank is back for it. Larry Shank for the Mohawks on the near side. Got it up ahead to Pat Leahy. Leahy out to center ice. It's up too far ahead of him. Now it's number 4, Brian Neary for Skidmore. He clears it into the Mohawk zone. On it first in the corner is Scott McDonald. McDonald puts him behind the back pass. Finally connects with Connolly. Now to Pat Leahy, streaking at center ice. Over the line right side. Now cuts to the left. Leahy knocked off the play, but goes to the corner for it. Puts it in deep. Knocked off the play. Leahy still battling for it in there with Brian Neary. Leahy and Neary exchanging some shoves. Now Weiss gets it, comes out in front for a shot and a save by Olsen. Rebound skated up by Sidoric. He puts it over along the fireboards for Connor McDavitt. Number 4, Brian Neary and Pat Leahy still exchanging hits. They are taking the body, and they apparently don't like each other. Leahy hit now at the blue line by Neary. Puck comes free, skated away by Sidoric in his own zone. He got it out to center, but Connolly broke that up. Scott Connolly goes over the line. He's hit there by Neary, and the puck is cleared back to center. Brian Keogh is on it there. 6:45 left, third period. Mohawks lead by a goal. Over the line goes McDonald. Feeds it on the left. Pettengill, a shot and a save by Olsen. Rebound goes behind the net. Fred Orsea back for it there. Kept in at the right point by McDonald. Now skated away and knocked away by Ormsby. He sent it ahead over on the right for Boudreau over the line. Boudreau fed it ahead to Ormsby. Ormsby goes to the corner for it. Broken up now by McDonald. McDonald is able to clear it out to center. Connects with Mike Weiss. Some skating room over the line. Drop pass for Pettengill. Shot and a save by Olsen. He kicked it out and the rebound was cleared away. Now on the near side, it's kept in by Matt Anderson. Anderson puts it in behind the net. Pettengill has to chase it over on the far side. Backs it back to the right point. Matt Gray's shot and a save by the goaltender. He didn't hang on to it. He looked like he was going to hang on to it for a moment, but the official with a quick whistle there and blew it dead for a face-off, which will come to the goaltender's left. But that was a quick whistle there as the goaltender Olsen unable to hang on to it there, and the Mohawks could have had an opportunity on that loose rebound.
It was clearly not staying in the goaltender's glove, and the referee just, I don't know if the whistle was in his mouth, he just blew it off, and nice missed opportunity there for the Mohawks.
Just under 6 minutes to go, third period. Face-off is controlled by Skidmore. In behind the net, DeRocher trying to dig it free for the Mohawks. Now they get it. TJ Windsor puts it in for DeRocher. Centered in front, intended for Schlegel, was broken up. Skated away by Boudreau. He goes over the line left side for Skidmore. Boudreau cuts to the net in front. Gloved by Roach with number 16, Evan Duggan, right on his doorstep. Good opportunity there for Skidmore as Duggan was alone in front, and Boudreau centered it to him. Roach was able to pick off the pass over to Duggan, who was unmolested in front.
It picked off Duggan's stick, too. Duggan's stick up kind of high there, and when Roach went up to glove it, it looked like Duggan went for a little tipping up in the air, and Roach grabbed the puck and his stick.
5:37 left now, third period. Face off to Phil Roach's left. It's TJ Windsor on the draw for the Mohawks. They control it. Mike Moriarty behind his net gets it to Larry Shank. Now on the right, Moriarty connects at center ice with Windsor. TJ Windsor goes over the line, cuts through, and a save by the goaltender. TJ Windsor is hurt now in front as he went all the way through for a shot on goal, and I believe he collided with the goaltender, and he is hurt now in front of the Skidmore goaltender John Olsen. Down on the ice, TJ Windsor and Mohawk trainer Jeff Wood running out to come out and see how TJ is. That would be a bad break for the Mohawks if he is hurt, as we have mentioned all through this game. He has played a stellar game for the Mohawks. Appears to look okay, perhaps just shaken up a bit, and maybe just a shift or two off the ice, and he'll be back ready to go, which would indeed be good news for the Mohawks. 5:21 left, third period. It is a 3-2 Mohawk lead. The line on for Coach Sal Leali's Mohawks has Scott Connolly at center, along with Pat Leahy and Mike Weiss as wingers. Larry Shank and Scott McDonald, who have both played a good defensive game for the Mohawks. Puck controlled by the Mohawks. Shank clears it into the Skidmore zone. Back where there is Micah Deary. Deary put it in behind his own net and got it off on the far side to Boudreau. Boudreau Now at center ice, skates with it. Boudreau goes over the line, now goes to the right side, into the corner, ridden to the boards by Leahy. Puck comes free near the side of the net and now cleared over on the far side. Weiss is able to clear it to center. Stopped there by Deary. Deary gets it ahead to Evan Duggan. Duggan goes over the line right side and dumps it in. Now Mohawks get it. Mike Weiss on the far side. Connects with Scott Connolly at center ice. Connolly ahead of steam over the line left side. Goes deep. Now goes behind the net. Far side gets it back to the right point. A one-timer by Shank. Blocked in front. The rebound. Connolly, or rather Pat Leahy, got a whack at it, and the goaltender Olsen stopped it. 4:33 left. Third period, a 3-2 lead for the Mohawks, who now seem to be carrying the play back to Skidmore again and have had a couple of good opportunities in the last few minutes.
Right, it's the momentum again. After those 2 goals, you saw Skidmore really taking all of the Mohawk fire. But it seems like MCLA is really bringing it right back here and dousing the flames of Skidmore.
And good to see T.J. Windsor back on the ice for the Mohawks. He takes the draw and loses it to Pete Manan. Manan puts it over on the near side. Derek DeRocher up to battle to try to get it, but now taken by Skidmore. With it is Manan. Manan goes over the line. Drop pass for Drake. Drake near the side of the net, ridden off the play, and the Mohawks get it. Scott McDonald starts it up on the left side. Takes a hit by number 9, Brian Sennett, and knocked off the play. Puck comes loose for Richard Shue. Shue now knocked off the play by Shank. They go to the corner. Puck comes out near the blue line now, and DeRocher is able to get it out to center. On it is Chris Dunn. Dunn gets it over to Manan. He clears it into the Mohawk zone. Under 4 minutes to go now. Larry Shank behind his own net. Exchanges passes with T.J. Windsor. Windsor now avoids a hit out near the line. Starts it up on the right, goes over the line, is tripped, but no call coming up. Up taken by Skidmore. Number 8 is Jeff Drake. Drake clears it down the length of the ice. It's going to be an icing if it crosses the goal line. It doesn't. It's waved off, and the Mohawks get it. Scott McDonald out of his own zone now. Long pass up ahead to Derek DeRocher off of his glove and into the Skidmore zone. Now cleared back out to center. Mike Moriarty for the Mohawks. Got it over on the far side. Now collected by Garman off of his stick and into the Skidmore zone. Manan gets it. Pete Manan tried to get a pass up ahead to Sidoric, but it was broken up. And at the blue line, Matt Anderson gets it for the Mohawks and clears it in. Over on the far side, it's Pat Hutchins. Clearing pass, bounces up and hits the ceiling, or actually the things that are hanging below the ceiling, the spinning disco ball and the lights that are up there. So we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone with just over 3 minutes to go, third period.
What a great college hockey rink, huh? You have the disco ball, the disco lights for the free skating.
You have boards that come free. Always interesting here. We saw it one time last year, a weird bounce. A clearing pass in, was rolling along the boards, all of a sudden hit something jutting out and bounced into the empty net as the Mohawk goaltender had gone behind the net to stop the puck. Play on is in the Skidmore zone. It's Brian Neary behind his own net. Takes a hit by Leahy. Mohawks try to get it back at center ice. They do as Weiss has it. Weiss, pass was broken up. Now taken by Ryan Mahady. Long shot in and a save by Roach. And he hangs on for the faceoff as he made the initial stop. And the puck was bouncing over his shoulder, and he fell backwards and was able to keep it from going in the net there. Long shot there by Mahady that Phil Roach had a little trouble with.
Oh, we're just talking about weird bounces and weird plays that we've seen here over the past year or so. And, I mean, you come to this rink and you're expecting to see some weird stuff go on.
3-2. The Mohawks hold on to a preciously slim lead here. 1-goal lead with under 3 minutes to go. Face off to the right of the goaltender, Roach. It's controlled by the Mohawks. In the corner, it is Scott Connolly. Puts it on the near side. Broken up by Orsea, who flips it on net. Roach stops it and doesn't leave the rebound. He pounces on it. And we'll have another face-off in the Mohawk zone, this time to his left. 3 goals in the game for the Mohawks. 1 in the first period, T.J. Windsor. Pair of goals in the second period, one by Scott Connolly, the other by Scott McDonald. That's the way it stood through 2 periods. But here in the third, it was Skidmore with a couple of goals to cut the lead to 1. And the first one, we didn't hear the announcement on the goal. The second one by Pat McAvoy. That first goal was the strange one, which it looked like Phil Roach had stopped. The red light went on. I would say a controversial goal. Face-off controlled by the Mohawks. They get it out to center ice. Mike Weiss goes over the line right side. Weiss tries to feed Leahy in front, but the pass was deflected. Now comes back out in front and skated away by Fred Orsea. Orsea knocked down near the blue line. Now gathered in by number 13, Pat Hutchins. Broken up by the Mohawks. A breakaway here, a shot and a save, and the rebound just went wide to the far post. It was Mike Weiss breaking that play up and getting that scoring opportunity. Now Conley behind the net. Tries to come out in front and stuff it, and he was blocked off the play. Brian Neary clears it over to the far boards. Now puts it over along the near side in the corner. Collected by Fred Orsea. Long clearing pass was intercepted by Shank and cleared right back in. Minute 45 left in the game. In his own zone, or bringing it out, was number 22, Orsea. He was broken up by Scott Connolly, and a hand pass called by the officials. And the face-off will come outside the Skidmore blue line with a minute 40 left. Mohawks having a little bit of a letdown earlier in this period, but now they're playing hard, skating well, and getting a couple of good opportunities. They just haven't been able to put the puck back in the net.
Yeah, they've clearly picked it back up again. And now is obviously the right time to do that. With only 1:40 left, you can't be lax back there in your zone and just try and ice the rest of the game.
Face-off control by the Mohawks. T.J. Windsor won the draw back to Moriarty, who cleared it into the Skidmore zone. On it there is Micah Deary. Deary a clear out to center, knocked back in by Keogh. Delayed offside, but back for it is Micah Deary for Skidmore. He puts it on the near side to Evan Duggan. Duggan wing-to-wing pass to Boudreau. Boudreau goes over the line, tries to get by Shank, broken up, and the goaltender for Skidmore is out. They've got the extra attacker on. It is Colin McDavitt clearing it into the Mohawk zone. Empty net for Skidmore. Mohawks clear it down into the Thoroughbred zone. Backward there is Micah Deary. Deary now. James Sidorek tries to cut through the defense. Goes right side for a shot. Score! Number 10, Ryan Mahady, has tied this game up with just under a minute to go. Mahady taking the slap shot from about 35 feet. Somehow it broke through Phil Roach. And Skidmore has tied this game up at 3.
Just what Skidmore was looking to do there. They pulled the goalie off. The extra attacker, almost like a power play there, and it ended up panning out. The initial rush by number 7, Sidoric, was broken up by one of the Mohawk defenders, but the puck found the stick of the eventual goal scorer, and that's just a bad break there for the Mohawks.
Mahady drilled that shot. It appeared to break right through the pads of Roach. And as you said, George, rough break for the Mohawks. There's 57 seconds left in the third period. Skidmore tying this hockey game up at 3. Ryan Mahady picking up the goal, and a bad break for the Mohawks. Off the face-off, Skidmore controls a long flip in, and Phil Roach gloves it and hangs on for the face-off. A couple more seconds tick off the clock there. 49.8 seconds left now, and it's beginning to look like we may see some overtime.
Oh, this is almost deja vu of last year at Skidmore. The Mohawks had the 4-3 lead. Skidmore puts the puck in the net with less than a minute left, and they eventually went in overtime. And
Skidmore won that in overtime, right. 5-4.
Yeah, this is a scary situation where it's almost like a flashback to last season.
Faceoff is in the Mohawk zone. It's going to be Scott Connolly on the draw against Sidoric. Controlled by the Mohawks. Mike Weiss puts it behind the net on the near side. First on it there is McDavitt. McDavitt knocks it back in deep out near the side of the net. Mahady collects. Mahady goes far side. Now drops it for McDavitt. Turnaround shot. Rolls to the goaltender, Phil Roach, and he hangs on for the faceoff. Skidmore flying high in this last minute. They've tied the game up and had a good opportunity there. That line featuring Mahady, Colin McDavitt, and James Sidorek making things happen for the Thoroughbreds.
Yeah, once again, a goal by Skidmore in the next couple of shifts for the Mohawks, because you seem a little down on themselves. When they can't do that, they've got to stay strong here, because with 34 seconds left, two goals earlier in the period scored within seconds apart. You just can't let it happen again.
All season long that's happened. When the opposing team scores once, they seem to score twice. That's 3 times in all 3 of the games that's happened against the Mohawks this season. Play on, puck loose near the side of the net, and Roach pounces on it. A few more seconds tick off. We're down to 25.8 left in the third period. As we said, beginning to look like overtime here, a 3-3 hockey game. Face off to Roach's right this time. For the Mohawks, it is Scott Connolly, along with Schlegel and Windsor. Looks like Windsor is going to take the face-off. And it'll be against Ryan Mahady. Puck control by the Mohawks. Larry Shank retreats behind his own net with it. Now long pass at center ice, doesn't connect, and Deary gets it. Deary goes back over the line right side, now tries to cut towards the net, ridden deep, behind the net, still has it. Broken up by the Mohawks now, and skating with it is Anderson. Anderson was broken up, and puck loose at center ice, finally taken by the Mohawks. As time expires in the third period of play, and a big hit right at the buzzer. Derek DeRocher was knocked down by Sidoric. But we have finished 3 periods of play, and on the basis of their goal with 57 seconds left, Skidmore has tied the game up at 3, and we head to overtime. Ready for action here in overtime. It's TJ Windsor along with Schlegel and DeRocher, the line on for the Mohawks. It's controlled by the Mohawks at center ice. Schlegel clears it into the Skidmore zone. It's Fred Orsea back for it there. Orsea now battling over on the far side. Windsor and Schlegel, or Windsor and DeRocher, in battling for it. DeRocher dug it free in behind the net. Windsor now battling now. Schlegel in to try to help out, but skated away by Sidoric for Skidmore. Sidoric, long pass ahead, tried to connect with Mahady over the line. It was broken up. Now puck at center ice, controlled by the Mohawk. Schlegel for a backhanded flip into the Skidmore zone. Mohawks will change up here. Brian Neary, long pass ahead to Sidoric. Sidoric goes over the line right side for a shot wide on the far side. Rebound comes all the way out near the left point. It's Orsea keeping. Now broken up by the Mohawks, cleared out to center by Weiss, and knocked right back into the Mohawk zone. Delayed offside, finally whistled by the officials. Almost a minute played in overtime. 3-3 the score, and the face-off will come outside the Mohawk blue line.
Yeah, it's usually within the first couple of minutes during the overtime period that the goal is scored. Usually if it's going to go close to the 5, it'll go all the way through and end up a tie game.
Face-off is controlled by Skidmore. They clear it into the Mohawk zone. Battle along the near boards in the corner. It's Brian Keogh, bottled up there by Pat McAvoy. Now Moriarty comes in and digs it free. Clears it up to center ice. Knocked back in by a Skidmore player in front of his own bench. Keogh for the Mohawks. Got it to Moriarty. Long clearing pass. Bounces into the Skidmore bench. And a whistle for a face-off, which will come just outside the Mohawk blue line. Mohawks changing up here now. Looks like they're sending out Windsor, DeRocher, and Schlegel once again. They saw a lot of action late in that third period, and now this is their second shift here in overtime. It'll be Windsor on the draw against Pat McAvoy. Puck loose, finally controlled by the Mohawks. Larry Shank over on the right side, crosses the center ice red line and clears it into the Skidmore zone. Back for it there and banking it up, not out of the zone. It's kept in by McDonald down in front, knocked down by Windsor. Tried to get a turnaround shot, was blocked. Now loose puck cleared away and skated off by number 6, Pat McAvoy. McAvoy goes over the line, feeds it to Boudreau. Broken up on good defensive play by Scott McDonald. It's about 3 or 4 times this game he's dove in front of the pass and broken up. Now a shot in, deflected it into the corner. DeRocher battling for it there with Dunn. Dunn skates out behind the net. Dunn now bothered there by Larry Shank. Shank tries to glove it free now. Out from behind the net for a turnaround shot, a backhander. Number 3, John Boudreau, and he's bothering Phil Roach, who covered it up. And we're going to have a penalty against Skidmore. Number 3, John Boudreau, just kept digging and digging, and he's going to get the slashing call. He just tried to dig that puck free after the whistle blew, and deservedly so, gets this penalty here. Skidmore does not like it, but that is the most deserving call. Penalty in overtime, and the Mohawks will go on a power play. That's big.
This is definitely a big situation here. With 2:58 left in this overtime in the game, you're going to have a 2-minute penalty, and it is deserving. And you know, in overtime, the officials try not to call stuff unless it's really flagrant, and that was flagrant. The whistle was blown, he kept chopping away, and you gotta get called for that. If you don't get called for that,
they've been doing that all game long, right. And they've been getting Phil Roach's dander up. Luckily, Roach didn't get up and try to retaliate before the officials made the call.
Well, after the whistle was blown again from the for the slash, Roach got up like he was going to try and go at him, and was kind of bumped off by one of his teammates. So
Mohawks call timeout here, so we'll have a little break here before the Mohawks go on the power play here in overtime. It is, you've got to do something that comes just short of murder to have the officials call a penalty in overtime. That's what Boudreau did.
Oh, absolutely.
And the Mohawks will have a big power play.
Well, there's no need there. With the puck covered up, the whistle blown, there's no need to keep hacking away like that. That's just not using your head as a player. There's certain times during the game, you know, maybe late in the game, if you're down and you're trying to spark your teammates up, you keep crashing the net or whatnot. But there's no need for slashing like that on the goalie.
So we're going to get set for action here. A face-off will be just outside the Mohawk blue line. Power play unit on for the Mohawks has Scott Conley centering the line with Tom Schlegel. And I can't see who's, and TJ Windsor, who's setting up on the right side. Well ahead of the play, Mohawks win it. Schlegel, a backhanded flip into the Skidmore zone. Now flipped right back out by Jeff Drake. All the way down the length of the ice into the Mohawk zone. Larry Shank back for it. Holds it behind his own net. Now he starts it up on the left. Shank, long pass, tried to connect with Conley at center ice, didn't, and Skidmore gets it. Number 12 is Kevin Bryant. Clears it into the Mohawk zone. Larry Shank recovers for the Mohawks. Retreats behind his own net. Now a pass on the right to TJ Windsor. Windsor out to center ice. Goes over the line right side. Clearing along the boards. On the left, Tom Schlegel on it first. Puts it back behind the net. Now goes far boards. Conley on it first there. Digs it free for Windsor. Return pass to Conley. Conley now gets it behind the net. Windsor and Schlegel both in there. Windsor digs it free. Now puts it over to Conley along the far boards. Conley broken up, but it's kept in at the right point by Shank. His shot and a save by the goaltender Olsen. Hangs on for the faceoff. Shank getting that shot from the point, but Olsen able to see it all the way. And now exactly 2 minutes left in the overtime period. A minute 2 left on the Mohawk power play.
The puck was hopping around a little bit in the corner there, but the Mohawks have to try and spread it out a little bit more. They had more success during the period. They had 3 guys down there in the corner just all playing for the puck. They got to start spreading it out and get the man behind the net again so it opens up the point to dish it off to a defenseman.
Same unit stays out there for the Mohawks. Conley on the draw, wins it. Back to Moriarty. Now Shank. A shot through a screen and a save by Olsen. No rebound as he pounces on it and hangs on for the faceoff. Right on his doorstep was number 21, Tom Schlegel. Olsen, we talked about Phil Roach playing well in the net for the Mohawks, but Olsen has done a good job in goal for the Thoroughbreds as well.
Oh, even when the score was 3-0, he was doing a great job. He had 2 screen goals and another one that's tough for anybody to stop.
Faceoff is to his left here. Mohawks control it. It's at the left point for Moriarty. A shot wide on the short side. Rebound near the side of the net is pounced on by Olsen. Larry Shank, or Scott Connolly, was right on his doorstep as that shot missed on the short side, but the rebound off the backboards came dangerously loose at the side of the net. This time the faceoff will come to his right.
And now the Mohawks are getting their power play set up. They're getting it to the point where they want it, with Moriarty or Larry Shank firing away at the point, hoping for either screens, deflections, or rebound putbacks in front of the net. That's their power play, and it's starting to work up on again.
Conley on the draw against Sidoric. Faceoff is controlled by Skidmore. They bat it out and into their bench area. So the faceoff will come right back down to the right of the goaltender, John Olsen. Neither unit has changed up here. Mohawks staying with Conley, Windsor, and Schlegel, along with Moriarty and Larry Shank.
Well, this power play unit for the Mohawks has obviously produced the best offensive scoring chances, and I don't know if they're going to get any tired out there skating around, but you want your best unit out there at this time of the game.
45 seconds left on the penalty. Off the faceoff, it comes all the way back down into the Mohawk zone. Goaltender Roach leaves it there for Larry Shank. Shank drops it for Windsor. Now on the right, it's Moriarty. Moriarty at center ice connects with Connolly, but he overskated it. Moriarty regains it, puts it on the near side for Schlegel. Now Shank clears it into the Skidmore zone. The goaltender out there to leave it for McDavitt. McDavitt on the right side overskated it. Puck comes all the way back down into the Mohawk zone. 15 seconds left on the penalty. Moriarty knocked to the boards by Sidoric. Puck comes behind the net. Shank now got it to Moriarty. Mike Moriarty got it on the right, too far ahead of Windsor, but collected by Connolly. Connolly goes over the line right side. Now in front, Schlegel scores! Tom Schlegel was hit by Scott Connolly. He put it home, and the Mohawks win it in overtime, 4-3. Tom Schlegel getting it in front about 15 feet out and put it past the goaltender Olsen. An overtime win for the Mohawks here at the Vietnam Veterans Rink. What a game, George.
This has to be one of the greatest Mohawk games of the last 2 or 3 years. Just inspired hockey throughout the entire game. Maybe 5 minutes at the most where this Mohawk team was not playing a true hockey game. The entire game from beginning to end, they skated, they hit, and they shot the puck on net. And on the scoreboard, it's 4-3 and a W on the stat sheet.
Tom Schlegel's first career goal for the Mohawks may well be the biggest one he ever scores, as it's in overtime. 4 minutes and 4 seconds into overtime, Schlegel gives the Mohawks the victory. And what a victory it was for the Mohawks here tonight, as they jumped out ahead 3-0, but saw Skidmore come back and score the tying goal in the last minute of regulation time. But the Mohawks pulling it out here in overtime, 4-3. What a goal by Tom Schlegel, and Scott Connolly just fed it to him beautifully. A power play goal for the Mohawks. That just goes to show that penalty, the stupid penalty that took by Skidmore, cost him the hockey game.
Oh, it cost the big time right there. I mean, he was on the verge of getting out of the box there, and the 2-on-1 break perfectly executed here by the Mohawks, and the first win of the season coming here against Skidmore. And this was just unbelievable, Rich. What a great way to end this game. And this is great. This is sweet revenge maybe for last year. And I know Coach Leali has a lot of positives to take from this game for how his team played throughout the entire game. But I'm sure these are the games where you end up focusing only on the negatives, and his negatives, I'm sure, are going to be the fact that you couldn't hold the 3-0 lead, and you let down. You let yourself down a little bit with one goal. They get the second goal, as we're saying. They've been scoring in spurts against us this year, and when they get one, they have another one coming right up after that, and it really did hurt the Mohawks. It wasn't penalties this time. It was just a lack of staying focused in the game. When you had the lead, you thought you could sit back, and they just couldn't do that, and that's what they're going to have to work on.
Checking the time of the goal, 4 minutes and 4 seconds, so actually it wasn't a power play goal. The player had returned for 2 seconds, so obviously hadn't had a chance to get back into play, but officially it doesn't go into the books as a power play goal, but it goes into the books as a game-winning goal, which is the biggest thing as far as the Mohawks are concerned. And George, we had talked in our pregame analysis that this was an awful big game for the Mohawks, given the fact that it's early in the season, but the fact that it's a team that the Mohawks could beat, and after the disappointing season they had last year, it was going to be important for them to win this hockey game and give them a little bit of confidence going into the further games on down the schedule, including tomorrow afternoon's game against Hamilton.
Oh, it's a definite confidence builder going into a game against Hamilton, who's going to be one of the tougher teams as usual. And the way the Mohawks played today, if they play like this tomorrow, where they're skating and they're hitting, and when they have their opportunities, they put it in the net, there's a solid chance of tying or winning tomorrow's game, because Hamilton, their scoring opportunities come off the fact that they skate and hit. And Skidmore came out here today, along with the Mohawks, trying to skate and hit to create opportunities. That's exactly how Hamilton plays. If we play that same way tomorrow, as we did today, and as Hamilton is going to play tomorrow, then it could work out for us.
Well, we'll see. We'll have the game for you at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon live from the Vietnam Veterans Rink. Just 2 games left for the Mohawks prior to the Christmas break. After tomorrow's game against Hamilton, it'll be next Saturday afternoon, also a home game, against Williams College. That is always an exciting one. That'll be a week from tomorrow. 2 big games for the Mohawks prior to the break, and from the Mohawks' perspective, hopefully they can at least win one of those games and be near 500 going into the break.
Absolutely. And you know, the Williams game, like you said, always a big game, especially going into Christmas break. You could somehow pull out a win against a superb team like Williams going into the break, knowing that it's, you know, your down-the-road rival, and knowing that it's a powerhouse.